You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
The Kernels continued their winning ways with a big 7-0 triumph over the West Michigan Whitecaps last night at Fifth Third Ballpark here in Grand Rapids. The Kernel win was their 5th in a row, and it snapped an 8-game winning streak by the best team in the Midwest League, the West Michigan Whitecaps. The Kernels got great play from all quarters, offense, defense, pitching, base running, and to talk it over with us, one of the key cogs in the Kernel victory last night, center fielder Brad Kuhn. And Brad, I remarked to you on our Tri-State Travel Motor Coach ride home last night that if such a record were kept, you might have the Midwest League record for putouts in a game. You snared 9 fly balls last night.
That just shows that we have great pitching. I mean, Anthony's ball, he's a hard thrower, so he's gonna get fly balls. He's a change-up curveball pitcher, so as long as we're all on our job out there, everybody should be getting some fly balls.
One inning, you retired the entire West Michigan side yourself. They played pepper with you.
Yeah, my job is to go get every ball I can get. It's whether it's all the way in left field, if I can get it, they want me to get it. So that's what I do. And then I have to catch a couple balls in the gap, and I make one short blooper. So
that's right. You and Stan Charles Smith did take a couple of hits away from the Whitecaps with good catches in the gap. And Brad, you also turned the game on its ear in the bottom of the 4th inning after we'd gotten a run in the top of the 4th inning with 2 out. West Michigan's runner Pedro Cotto tried to go from first to third on a hit to center by Mike Hernandez. Describe what was going through your mind. Were you shocked when you saw Cotto trying to go from first to third with 2 outs? Did one of your teammates or the infield yell, third, 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 or did you know you'd have to come up throwing?
Yeah, usually on balls straight in, people aren't going to try to go first to third, but he did, and luckily I was ready to hit stage either way, which is the cutoff man. I just threw right through him and got the one hopper, and it's kind of ironic because the last homestand, Cedar, our outfitter over, was in town. That's all we did was work out one hop in third and one hop in home for a good straight hour one day, so it kind of paid off.
It sure did. So the connection was made, and the lesson to applying the lesson.
Yeah, that's right. Shows that all the hard work you put in will definitely going to come into play sometime.
Boy, I hope you guys can share that with Bruce Hines Jeter, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim roving field coordinator. He'll probably get a game report and smile when he sees runner out first to third, Kuhn to Morris.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's the arm strength can only do so much if you have to be accurate. My arm strength isn't a plus, but I can be pretty accurate with it most of the time. So that's what I concentrate on. It's just making a good throw instead of trying to overthrow it.
Brad, you mentioned you threw the ball through Heinley's station, the cutoff man. Ideally, does Heinley line his upper body as a target with third base so that literally, if he wanted to, he could reach up and cut it off and, let's say, throw to second if the hitter was trying to go from home to second? Or what do you mean by throw through? Do you use Heinley as a directional target?
Yeah, absolutely. Just try and throw it right through his head, and and Dallas will tell him cut or no cut, and on that one, he obviously you have no cut. We got him by a good amount.
It worked to perfection. Brad Kuhn is with us, and Brad, the ball club is having fun now playing baseball, and I know that it's hard to determine which comes first, the fun of the game or the winning, the success and then the fun. But right now, last night's game was a perfect example. Virtually every guy in the lineup, either on the field, on the base paths, or at the plate contributed, and man, that's winning baseball.
Yeah, it really is. Success and fun, like you said, it all ties together. But, if you're not winning, you're not having very much fun. Nobody likes to lose. So, once, we've been rolling a little bit here these last few games, and it all starts with, Stacia's been really hot lately. We need to ride him out. He's been on a tear, and whenever guys in top of the order can get on base, that's when you really start having fun.
Speaking of being on a tear, we rode your wave of your 19-game hitting streak before the All-Star break. And, Brad, was there any time where you felt either like implying or imposing a superstition or a routine, or did you just go about your business regularly during that incredible 19-game hitting streak?
I really tried not to think about it. I just tried try to go about every game the same and just try and not get too high when you're playing good and not get too low when you're not playing well. You know, you got to try and keep that medium. Keep a heavy medium in there. So I think when I got to about 16, 17, 18, I started to think a little bit. So I use the same batting gloves every time and wear the same cleats every game. And usually I'll switch it up, not really, not caring which ones I wear. But it was a good run. But they all got to end somewhere, and I can start a new one.
Let's go back to last night's game. You had another pivotal role besides throwing that man out at third to end the fourth inning. You walked Brad leading off the eighth inning. At that point, we were only ahead 3-0. You stole second, had first slide, and then the very next pitch you stole third. Will you take us through the mindset that you used? Because I think the Whitecaps were stunned on the very next pitch after you swiped second that you stole third. First of all, I'd like to ask, were you out of breath, and did you have to kind of gain your breath before stealing third?
No, not at all. You just, you don't want to. It's almost like you want to look like you're tired to, that's the best time to run is just right after something happens. If a guy makes an error or something, everybody puts their head down and just, kind of mad about something. That's when you take off and go. So, I knew as soon as I stole second, as soon as I got up, I was going to steal third on the very next pitch. And, stealing second, me and EO, our first base coach, been working a lot on that and just trying to go every chance I get. So, it paid off.
Speaking of Eric Owens, I know that he has the utmost respect for your work ethic and your approach to the game, Brad. You play the game hard, and you do your darndest to get on base as often as you can, whether it's a bunt, a walk. You play the game the way Eric Owens, I think, used to play it, and he believes in you.
Yeah, absolutely. That means a lot to me. As a player, it gives you a lot of confidence when other people, tell you they believe in you and they believe you have what it takes to make it. So, it's good to have him in my corner, and I really look up to him. And everything he tells me, I try and apply it as best I can, whether it's in the cage, and then trying to apply it on the field. But his base running instincts have really helped me out, learn how to steal bases and how to just get on base in general. So.
We'll wrap things up with Colonel center fielder Brad Kuhn. He had a magnificent night in the field on the base paths at the plate, and his mates shelled the West Michigan Whitecaps in the series opener here in Grand Rapids last night. 7-0. It was the Colonel's 5th straight win, and it stopped a Whitecap 8-game winning streak. Back with Brad after this from South Slope Communications.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communications. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Colonel outfielder Brad Kuhn, center fielder Brad Kuhn is with us. And, Brad, I wanted to finish up by asking you about a couple of center fielders, one of whom I wondered if you watched as a youngster. You told us back in April in Battle Creek, Michigan, when you were initially with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show, of your love of the Cleveland Indians. Did you grow up wanting to pattern yourself or idolizing Kenny Lofton?
Absolutely. That's, when me and my dad would go to the park, he was the only guy I really cared about watching. He loved the game, but, I would just watch him run on the field, run off the field. Everything he did, I tried to, be like him, because that's, even when I was younger, I was fast, and that was the kind of game I played. I've never been a home run hitter, and I never will be. So he was really the guy that I watched growing up, and then just try to, model my game after.
Do you think someday you might be able to meet him?
I don't know about that, but it'd be cool, just to get to talk to him and stuff, but that could be down the road. You never know.
And finally, Brad, incredible catch that I hope you and your teammates got to see by Gary Matthews Jr. at Ameriquest Field, the ballpark in Arlington last week. Some are saying it's one of the 5 best catches ever by a center fielder. can you describe, if you did see it, can you describe what must have been going through Gary Matthews Jr.'s mind when he robbed the Houston Astro of the home run? I've never seen anything quite like it, except maybe the catch Bo Jackson made with the Royals when he ran up the left center field wall sideways, kind of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I did see it, Gary Matt. That was incredible. That's the hardest play in baseball to make, because you have so many elements that go into it. You have to time everything perfect. You have to take your eye off the ball and, find the wall, then, get up on the wall and still be able to, be in the right spot. I mean, you could be 2 foot off and you're not going to catch it. That's the hardest thing to do, and that was one of the top 5 catches I've ever seen. You almost have to be absolutely fearless because you have no idea when you plant your leg into, even though it's a padded wall, you don't know what the outcome's going to be. Yeah, man, it's like I said, every element that when you're back there is so important, because you feel the warning track, but then again, it's a very, very tough thing to do. I've never robbed a home run. That's one thing I like to. I've never really had a legit shot at it, but that's one thing I'd like to be able to try one day, and hopefully I can pull that off someday.
Well, I'm sure you will in your career, Brad. Thank you so much. It's been almost 7 weeks since we've talked to you. You've had a tremendous season. We really have the best leadoff batter in the Midwest League in Brad Kuhn. Brad, I want to thank you, and so does Zio Janos. Zio Janos has been a loyal, generous sponsor of Kernel Baseball, and one of the things they feel great about is giving our guests here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show a certificate that you can redeem at any of the Zio Janos Italian spaghetti houses. Brad Kuhn, please enjoy the meal at Zio Janos. Thank you so much.
No problem, John. Thank you.
Brad Kuhn, Kernel center fielder. He sparkled last night. So did the Kernels, who won their 5th in a row and their 7th out of their last 8. Up next, Game 2 starting lineups from Grand Rapids here on the Kernel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. Human Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Good Saturday evening, everyone. This is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels, reporting high above the home plate area from Fifth Third Ballpark here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where a capacity crowd is expected to see the Kernels try to make it 6 in a row after last night's 7-0 shutout whitewash win here against the best team in the Midwest League, the Detroit Tiger Farmhands, the West Michigan Whitecaps. We're just a few minutes away from opening pitch. The lineup cards will be exchanged shortly. Let's bring you up to speed on what the Kernel recent good play has brought them. 5 wins in a row. The Kernels have won 7 of 8, and that has propelled the Kernels to a 10-6 record in the second half. And the Kernels are atop the Western Division second half standings, 1 game ahead of the Beloit Snappers, 2 in front of the Swing of the Quad Cities, 5 lengths in front of Burlington, and the Kernels lead Clinton by 5 as well, and Wisconsin by 8. We really don't have to concern ourselves with the 2 teams that are tied with us, a 3-way logjam at the top of the Western Division second half standings. Kane County and Peoria are also 10-6, but the reason we don't have to concern ourselves with them is they've already qualified for the playoffs by virtue of their first half finishes, first and second by Kane County and Peoria. So the Kernels are in great shape and have 9-game winner All-Star Stephen Merrick pitching tonight against right-hander Burke Badenhop for the Whitecaps. Let's set the starting lineups. It's an 87-degree, partly sunny Saturday evening here in the former furniture-making capital of the United States, Grand Rapids. First, for Matt Walbeck and his high-flying Whitecaps, they had an 8-game winning streak snapped by the Kernels last night in the Kernels 7-0 victory. West Michigan still sports a 13-3 record They've already qualified by virtue of their first half finish for the playoffs. They lead the Eastern Division. Overall, the Whitecaps are 54-29. Matt Walbeck is in his third year at the helm here with the Whitecaps. Leading off for West Michigan is a left-handed hitting second baseman, Will Rhymes. Pedro Cotto will be at first base and bat second. Cotto is ninth in the league in hitting with a .311 average. Hitting third for the Whitecaps, Matt Joyce. Joyce is in right field. The cleanup batter was signed by Detroit as a non-drafted free agent out of Oklahoma State, and he's hit .313 in 39 games. Mike Hernandez will bat fourth and serve as the DH for West Michigan. Batting fifth is Justin Justice. He'll be in left field. The catcher for the Whitecaps for the second straight evening is Dusty Ryan. Ryan will hit sixth. He's a tall, strong, 6'4" right-handed batter. Mike Hollimon, a switch-hitting shortstop, bats seventh in Matt Walbeck's batting order. Batting eighth, he pinch hit last night in the ninth inning. Third baseman Mark Haske, Haske. And in center field batting ninth, he also pinch hit last night in the ninth inning, Jeremy Laster, Laster. Pitching for the Whitecaps is Burke Badenhop, Badenhop, a tall, 6'5", 220-pound right-hander out of Bowling Green State University in Ohio. The Tigers picked Badenhop in the 19th round of last year's draft, and Burke has pitched well this year. The right-hander is 7-2 with a 3.64 ERA. Burke Badenhop pitched against our ball club way back on April 17th at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and he beat the Kernels 5-3. Badenhop went 6 innings in that start, allowed 3 runs on 6 hits, struck out 6 Kernels, walked none. Burke Badenhop's last start was Monday in Lansing, a no decision in a Whitecap victory at Oldsmobile Park. In that start, he went 4 1/3 on Monday, allowed 6 runs and 4 1/3 on 10 hits, fanned 5 and walked 2. The league hitting .286 against 23-year-old 6'5", 220-pound right-hander Burke Badenhop. That's the Whitecap starting lineup. Allen Motor Company, as always, is proud to present the Kernel starting lineup. You can visit Allen's virtual showroom by logging on to their website, www.allenmotor.com, ALLENMOTOR. Allen's is open until 9 o'clock on Monday and Wednesday nights, and they're open until 6 o'clock Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings, until 5 on Saturdays. Allen's spectacular 13-acre campus is located at I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. Here's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup from Grand Rapids. Our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest leads it off. Center fielder Brad Kuhn. He stole 2 bases last night, scored 2 runs, and caught 9 fly balls in center field. Batting second at first base, 20-year-old Australian Josh Davies. Batting third for the Kernels, he has a 9-game hitting streak in which he's gone 20 for 35. Switch-hitting all-star shortstop Heinle Stacia has his average at .304. Heinle will bat third in the Allen Motor Company order. The Kernel cleanup batter had 2 RBIs last night to add to his team high total, now with 52. Right fielder all-star Jordan Renz will bat cleanup. Hitting fifth in the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, he didn't play in last night's series opener because the Whitecaps started a southpaw, left-handed hitting second baseman Larry Infante. Mark Trumbo had 2 hits, both into right field. Mark is the DH, and he'll bat sixth. Trumbo had 2 hits in last night's Kernel series opening victory. Batting seventh at third base for the Kernels is Dallas Morris. Dallas Morris had 2 doubles in last night's Kernel win. Let me double-check that. Yes, Dallas did have 2 doubles in last night's Kernel victory. Morris bats seventh at third base. Hitting eighth, he leads the league in triples with 8. Catching, Flint Whipke. And batting ninth for the Kernels in left field out of Texas Tech, Madison Edwards. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, making his 18th start of the year, is 9-game winner Stephen Merrick. Merrick is 9-1 with a 2.01 ERA. Stephen is ranked third in the league with 107 1/3 innings pitched, behind teammates Tommy Mendoza and Moose Mosbach. Stephen Merrick, 9-1. Merrick pitched against this Whitecap Ball Club, April 20th at home. A no decision for Stephen in a Colonel 5-4 victory over the Whitecaps. On April 20th in our home ballpark, Stephen Merrick went 6 innings against West Michigan, yielding 3 runs on 5 hits. Merrick struck out 6, walked none. 9-game winner Stephen Merrick coming off a 7-1 victory at home Monday afternoon against Burlington. That's when the Kernels wore the vintage 1906 Cedar Rapids bunny uniforms. Stephen Merrick allowed only 1 run in 8 innings on just 4 hits, fanned a pair, walked none. Stephen Merrick is on the hill this afternoon, or this evening, for the Kernels. The Whitecaps are about ready to take the field. They're wearing their white home uniforms that look like their parent clubs, the Detroit Tigers. They are all white, kind of like a milkman's uniform used to be in the 50s and 60s. And then they have black numbers, black socks, black hats, and their names are scrawled across in block letters between their shoulder blades on the back of their home uniforms. The Kernels are in their traditional gray uniforms, wearing their all navy blue caps tonight with red numbers trimmed in white and red socks. Our umpires are Kellen Levy and DeAndre Anderson. Kellen Levy will call the balls and strikes here from Grand Rapids. His partner on the diamond, DeAndre Anderson. And those umpires are sponsored by Anderson and Brown Eye Care, your full-service comprehensive eye care center, located on Boyson Road off I-380, the Boyson Road exit in Hiawatha. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is easy in, easy out. That's because of its great location on Boyson Road, just off I-380 in Hiawatha. They also have convenient hours, evenings and Saturdays. Anderson and Brown Eye Care, Dr. Tom Anderson, Dr. Todd Brown, they'll examine your eyes, and then you can pick out your glasses or contact lenses right in the practice, right on site at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care, sponsoring our umpires. A big group of, well, they look like some are senior citizens, some look to be middle-aged, and I would say there's a good 24 folks in a semicircle right behind home plate, and they're facing the backstop. They'll be singing the Star-Spangled Banner shortly. It's 87 degrees here in Grand Rapids, and the Kernels are flying high, having won 5 straight, 7 of our last 8. Let's take a moment and remind you that you're listening to Colonel Baseball here on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG Cedar Rapids. We're just a few moments away from the first pitch, and we have time, thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schuback to bring you scores from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The only game played this afternoon in the American League was at U.S. Cellular Field. It was a clash between the Sox, the Red Sox and the White Sox. And on the south side of Chicago, Boston knocked off the world champion White Sox 9-6. A final in Game 1 of a doubleheader in the National League. At Shea Stadium, the Mets bowed to the Marlins 3-2 in the first game of that twin bill, but the Mets look like they're headed for a split. They are dismantling the Marlins 14-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning at Shea Stadium. They're in the top of the 9th inning at Minute Maid Park in Houston, and the Astros are ahead of the Cardinals 6-5 in the top of the 9th inning. The Giants and Dodgers are embroiled in a slugfest, bottom of the 8th inning at Chavez Ravine, and it's San Francisco 8, the Dodgers 7 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Everything else later this evening in the National League, the Reds and Braves will play at Turner Field. It's the Cubs and Brewers tonight at Miller Park. The Battle of the Keystone State of Pennsylvania will unfold at Citizens Bank Ballpark with the Pirates taking on the Phils. At RFK Stadium, the Nationals will entertain the Padres, and at Coors Field in Denver, it'll be the Diamondbacks and Rockies. In the American League later this evening, it'll be the Indians and Orioles at Jacobs Field. The Blue Jays and Royals will tangle at Kauffman Stadium. At Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, the Yankees and Devil Rays will square off. The Twins and Rangers play down in the Lone Star State. Our parent club, thanks to a one-hit shutout by John Lackey, former Colonel right-hander John Lackey, will be in Oakland again this evening. That series between the Angels and A's tied at a game apiece And at Safeco Field, the Tigers, the parent club of our opponents this weekend, the Whitecaps, the Tigers, who are now 30 games over 500, 58-28, will be playing the Seattle Mariners. That complete look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, sponsored by State Farm Insurance Agents Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, and Dale Thompson. The umpires, Kellen Levy behind the plate, DeAndre Anderson on the bases, are taking the lineup cards in from Matt Walbeck and Colonel Manager Bobby Magianis, and we're almost ready for Game 2 here in Grand Rapids. This ballpark was built in 1994, and originally the Whitecaps were a Midwest League affiliate of the Oakland A's. In fact, a couple of pretty big names came through Grand Rapids as A's minor leaguers. Jeff DeVannen, who played an instrumental role in our parent club's world title a couple of years back. Jeff DeVannen played here in 1996. And Ramon Hernandez, an outstanding catcher with Oakland and the Padres, played here in 1996. And then in 1997, the Whitecaps affiliated themselves with a much more logical fit, their home state big league team, the Detroit Tigers. And the Tigers have seen Robert Fick play here. He was the MVP of this league in 97. Oh, let me back up and say that when Oakland was here, Ben Grieve played here. Heck, Ben Grieve won the American League Rookie of the Year award a little bit back early in his, well, it had to be early in his career. He was a rookie. That was in the mid to late 90s, if I remember right. Omar Infante played here as a Tiger farmhand in 2000. Brandon Inge, one of the most popular Tigers, played here in 1999. He was a catcher. He's a third baseman now. Nook Logan, who played a lot of center field for the Tigers last year, played here in 2001. And on the pitching side of things, Francisco Cordero, who's been a tremendous relief pitcher for the Rangers, he pitched here in 97 as a Whitecap. Fernando Rodney is a Detroit Tiger, and he pitched here in the year 2000. And Nate Cornejo, who was in the Tigers starting rotation in the early 2000s, the early part of this decade. Nate Cornejo was a pitcher here in 1999 as a Tiger farmhand. So they have plenty of tradition to build on in a relatively short amount of time. We'll be back at home for a marvelous 7-game homestand starting this Wednesday night. We kick off a 3-game series against the Texas Ranger minor leaguers, the Clinton Lumber Kings. It'll be Clinton's first visit to our ballpark, and free money from Fairfax State Savings Bank on Wednesday night if you're among the first 750 fans to come through the gates at Veterans Memorial Stadium. You'll receive an envelope with cash inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. The cash will range from $1 to $100, and there's no hitch, there's no catch. All you do is come, and come early, because the first 750 of you will receive an envelope from Fairfax State Savings Bank with cash inside. Then the following night, Thursday the 13th, we're at home, and it's a Bucket Cup Thursday. That means you can savor a 12-ounce soda or slushy or a 12-ounce beer for only $1. 12-ounce draft beer, soda, or slushies, just $1 for our next Bucket Cup Thursday, July 13th. Then on Friday night the 14th, the Milling Company continues a great tradition with the Kernels and you, the fans, with their Armed Forces Night Colonel camouflage jerseys. The Kernels will be wearing camouflage jerseys to honor our armed forces, and then those jerseys will be auctioned off during the ball game. That's been a very popular promotion. There'll be a 21-gun salute in conjunction with the Armed Forces Night, sponsored by the Milling Company, and a Chinook helicopter is scheduled to fly over, weather permitting, on Friday, July 14th. It's also Pat McGrath Chevyland's used car night at Veterans Memorial Stadium this week from last night, Friday, July 14th. 3 of you lucky Colonel fans, 18 years or older, will leave the ballpark with a used car from Pat McGrath Chevyland. And Saturday, a week from tonight, we open a 4-game series with the Southwest Michigan Devil Rays. The gates open at 6, a 7 o'clock start, and Bank of the West will be presenting fireworks. That's right, our most popular promotion of all, fireworks, and Bank of the West will be our title sponsor. We thank the great folks at Bank of the West for bringing us the second of their sponsored fireworks night a week from tonight, Saturday, July 15th. Well, we were told this ball game would start about 10 after 7, and the Whitecaps are about to be introduced individually out of their first base home dugouts. West Michigan is 26-16 here at Fifth Third Ballpark. They're 28-13 on the road and 54-29 overall. The Kernels in the second half are 4-4 on the road, 10-6, perched to top the Western Division second half standings. The Kernel record on the road overall 19-24, and this will be, believe it or not, our 87th game of the year. The Kernel's 87th game of the year. A four-wheel John Deere utility vehicle has driven to the center field warning track area, and there's a big college-like banner, a flag that's being run in from center field that has its royal blue with the four letters CAPS on it. That's the nickname for the Whitecaps here in this part of Michigan, western Michigan. Rather than go through the formality of calling them the West Michigan Whitecaps, everybody just says, are you going to the Caps game tonight? The Whitecaps game, that is. A very substantial breeze is blowing out from home plate towards center field, so we may see the long ball here this evening. The Kernels out-hit West Michigan last night 12-4, but neither team hit a home run. Tonight, with the wind blowing out, we may see some home runs. We're now going to pause here on this gorgeous 87-degree Saturday evening and pause to honor America as the big group I described in powder blue or light blue shirts standing in front of the backstop behind home plate. They're going to be introduced, and they'll sing the national anthem.
You're the liquid area Kernel Society. If you do this honor in the United States of America with our national anthem.
You can tell by the uproarious applause that was a very good and inspiring round, a rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. In fact, the chorale group reminded me of the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. They were that good. Right-hander Burke Badenhop is set to face the Kernels. Burke, 7-2 on the year, has pitched 99 innings. And he's given up 112 hits in 99 innings, struck out 73, walked only 18, so he was a control artist, is the 6'5", 220-pound right-hander from Bowling Green State University. The league hitting .286 against Burke Badenhop. Badenhop in 14 starts with Oneonta last year in rookie ball was 6-4 with a 2.92 ERA. Burke pitched 77 innings with Oneonta last year, allowed only 69 hits, struck out 55, walked 26 in his 77 innings. Burke Badenhop. Defensively for the Whitecaps, it's Mark Haskey at third, Mike Hollimon at short, Will Rhymes at second, and the first baseman is Pedro Cotto. Justin Justice in left, Jeremy Laster in center, Matt Joyce in right, and Dusty Ryan catching Burke Badenhop. Cameron Maben not in the Whitecap lineup. He's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was chosen to play in the All-Star Futures game at PNC Park. Nick Adenhart, former Colonel right-hander who was promoted to Rancho Cucamonga less than 10 days ago, also chosen to play in that game. And what a thrill for those fellas. Brad Kuhn, our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, will lead off for the Kernels here in the top of the first inning. Great to have you with us. And the game's first pitch from the tall right-hander to Brad is a strike at the knees, according to the plate umpire, Kellen Levy. Well, we were scheduled to start at 7, then they told us 7:10, and the first pitch was at 7:18. Ball one is upstairs to Brad. Brad Kuhn, 1 for 4 last night. Singled and scored in the Colonel 3-run 6th inning. Walked, stole second, stole third, scored in the 8th inning to put the Colonels up 4-0. And then Brad helped on the defensive end. He recorded 9 putouts in center, and he had 1 assist. Ball 2 just inside to Brad. And it's 2-1 to the left-handed hitting Colonel leadoff batter, who swings late and misses. Strike 2. Brad Kuhn from Trevecca Nazarene University. I bet not many of you have heard of it. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. Brad is only 6 feet tall, 175, and he's an extraordinarily talented leadoff batter in center field. He takes a borderline pitch, a fastball outside, and it's a full count to Brad Kuhn. We're in the top of the first inning. The payoff delivery is chopped foul into the Whitecap first base dugout by Brad. Kuhn, Davies, and Stacia for the Kernels. Here in the top of the first inning, the Kernels have won 5 in a row and 7 of their last 8. A high pop foul, this one chased by the third baseman, Mark Haskey, but it's well up into the third base stands. In fact, it hit the walkway, the aisle, between the 9 rows of box seats here at Fifth Third Ballpark, and then the 15 rows of aluminum-backed general admission seats. And we have a capacity crowd here this evening. A breeze blowing out, and Brad Kuhn hits one hard on the ground to the left of the second baseman, who robs Kuhn of a hit. Will Rhymes made a couple of outstanding plays last night. Tonight, he goes far to his left and stabs a one-hopper by Brad Kuhn, and Rhymes threw out Brad Kuhn. Great at-bat by Brad Kuhn, and a tremendous defensive play turned in at second by Will Rhymes, who had to go to his left deep into the hole and spear that one-hopper, and he got Brad Kuhn as he contorted his body and threw to Pedro Cotto for the out. Josh Davies takes the strike from Burke Badenhop. Josh Davies didn't play in last night's series opener. The 20-year-old Australian has been a big spark for the Kernels. Ball one inside, a changeup. Davies batting .238, 2 homers, 12 RBIs. In just 11 games. A ground ball foul. I think Josh Davies may have broken his bat. He did, and he is in the hole 1 and 2 as he follows the path carved between the Colonel third base dugout and the dirt batting circle to get a new baseball bat. Sunday, July 16th, the middle portion of our upcoming 7-game homestand. It's a family fun day at the ballpark. You can enjoy popcorn for just $1 all afternoon. The gates open at 1. It's important you know that because the Kernels will be signing autographs before Sunday's game, July 16th, from 1:20 until 1:40. After the game, you and your family, thanks to Velocity Sports Performance, can run the bases and also play catch on the field. That's a week from tomorrow, Sunday, July 16th. Josh Davies on a curve, bounces it to shallow third. Mark Haskey charges and throws out Josh Davies. And there are 2 away here in the Colonel first inning, as Haskey, getting his first start in this series, had to charge that high bouncer to shallow third to get Josh Davies. Two away for the red-hot hitting all-star Colonel shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Heinle had 4 straight hits after being retired his first time up last night. Stacia did everything. He drove in 4 runs. He scored twice. He stole third base. Ball went inside to Heinle, who's riding a 9-game hitting streak in which he's gone 20 for 35. Switch hitting shortstop takes low and in, ball 2. Heinle has his average up to a season-high 304, 1 homer, 26 RBIs, and a team-high 23 doubles for Stacia. A 2-0 delivery is just low, according to Kellen Levy, the plate umpire, and Burke Badenhop, who works quickly, has fallen behind Stacia. 3-0 with the bases empty, 2 out here in the Colonel first. Heinle looks at strike 1 called, a fastball at the knees. Burke Badenhop wears his black socks up high and walks Stacia. The 3-1 delivery was low. Heinle Stacia reaches base with 2 away here in the Colonel first. Bringing up Colonel's slugging cleanup batter, Jordan Renz. Jordan broke a scoreless tie in last night's series opener with a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. Then Jordan came through with a hard smash into left field in the 6th inning to make it 3-0 Colonels. Colonels won it 7-0. Ball 1 high and outside to Jordan, who's hitting .240. Second in the league with 15 home runs. First on the Colonels with 52 RBIs. Jordan rips one foul high up into the net, and it evens the count to Renz, 1-1. Top of the first inning. No score. Stacia at first with 2 away. Sun shining brightly now, and a breeze still blowing out from home plate towards center. Badenhop whirls and tosses to first. Heinle Stacia, who has 13 steals and 25 tries, dives back in head first. Jordan Renz, right-handed batter with a straightaway stance, takes just inside, below the knees, ball 2. It's 3:17 down the left field line here at Fifth Third Ballpark. 3:27 down the right field line. The wall is 8 feet high and it's padded. Ball 3, a fastball low, and it's a 3-1 count on Jordan Renz. Boy, the Colonels since the All-Star break have been much more selective, much tougher outs at the plate. Burke Badenhop with Stacia at first, Heinle not running, delivers, and Jordan Renz golfs the 3-1 pitch on the ground foul, past Bobby Magallanes coaching at third, and into the Colonel left field bullpen. On the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the Cardinals have scored a run in the top of the 10th inning, and they lead the Astros now at Minute Maid Park, 7-6 in the top of the 10th. In Los Angeles, the Giants are clubbing the Dodgers 11-7. That's in the 8th. Stacia on the 3-2 pitch goes, and a one-hop bullet hit to the shortstop, who moves to his left to flag it down. Mike Hollimon throws out Jordan Renz. Jordan hit it off the trademark and hit a low liner on one hop to the shortstop, and that ends the Colonel first inning. But the Colonels made right-hander Burke Badenhop work a lot. No runs in the first for the Colonels. No hits, a 2-out walk. There were no Whitecap errors, and the Colonels leave one aboard. After one half inning in Grand Rapids before a full house, Colonels nothing, Whitecaps coming to bat.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Raucous crowd, a sellout crowd, and we want to thank you for helping make the first half and the beginning of our second half such a rousing, fun success at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Thanks to all of you who've come out with your friends, family, business associates, fellow employees, clients. It's just been a really fun time at the ballpark, and we invite you to meet us at the stadium again starting this Wednesday. This Wednesday, we open a 7-game homestand. Stephen Merrick, a 9-game All-Star winner, 9-game winner, All-Star, delivers high, ball 1 to Will Rhymes. Will, a .259 hitting leadoff batter, 5'9", 155 out of William and Mary, takes ball 2. I'm not sure where to tell you where that pitch missed. Will Rhymes, robbed of a hit on a diving catch in left by Stantrell Smith in the 6th last night, was 0 for 4, and he takes ball 3 upstairs from Stephen Merrick. Dallas Morris playing shallow at third, and Will Rhymes is ahead 3-0 here in the bottom of the first inning, and ball 4 is upstairs. Will Rhymes never took the bat off his shoulder, and he draws a leadoff walk here in the first inning. That's unlike Stephen Merrick. Stephen very rarely walks a batter on 4 pitches. In fact, Merrick, in 107 1/3 innings, has only walked 17 batters. Will Rhymes draws a leadoff 4-pitch walk for the Whitecaps. Rhymes has 13 steals. He's been caught 5 times. Will leads away from first, and the batter is Pedro Cotto. Cotto was 1 for 3 last night, and ball 1 is low and away. So the Whitecap game so far this evening is to take pitches and let Kellen Levy, the plate umpire, do the work. Pedro Cotto, .311 hitter, left-handed batter, takes a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Cotto has no homers, 18 RBIs. He's from Puerto Rico, and he went to junior college in our home state of Iowa at Indian Hills Community College. The runner at first is Rhymes. He's not going. And the next pitch dips low for ball 2. And here comes the catcher, Flint Whipke, trotting out to the mound. He is trying to slow down Stephen Merrick. Stephen has gotten off to a rocky start with the 4-pitch walk to the leadoff batter and falling behind Pedro Cotto 2-1. Brad Kuhn is shifted way around into left center for Pedro Cotto, C-O-T-T-O. Pedro waits with his open stance. The runner goes. A swing and a miss. Whipke's throw to second. Not in time. It's a stolen base for Will Rhymes. Will stole that one off Stephen Merrick, who didn't keep him close or control the running game, as they say. It's the 14th stolen base in 19 tries for Will Rhymes. So a walk and a stolen base, and the Whitecaps have a chance now here in the first inning to take the lead. It's 2-2 to Pedro Cotto. The throw by Whipke was good enough, but just late to Larry Infante. Now a swing and a 2-2 pitch tomahawked foul over the backstop, and the count remains even, 2-2 to Pedro Cotto. Whitecaps have a runner at second with nobody out. 402 feet to dead center field here at Fifth Third Ballpark. The scoreboard is in left center, just to the left of the green hitter's eye, the green padded wall, and the gigantic 20-foot high dark green screen behind it. A changeup in the dirt, and it's ball 3. 3-2 now to the batter, and Will Rhymes may be running with nobody out. Here in the bottom of the first inning, no score. Madison Edwards plays very close to the line in left field for the left-handed hitter Cotto. Rhymes not running, and a bouncer to first. off the glove of Davies. Josh underhands to Merrick for the out. Terrific hitting, situational hitting by Pedro Cotto. He did his job. He got Will Rhymes to third on a ground ball out. Fumbled by Josh Davies behind first. Josh regained the handle and then underhanded from in back of the bag to Stephen Merrick for the 3-1 putout. And Luis Cotto, with terrific situational hitting, now has the Whitecaps in a great position to score here in the first inning. Matt Joyce, a left-handed hitting number 3 batter for the Whitecaps, leads their club with 52 RBIs. The Colonel infield plays back. They'll trade a run for an out. Ball 1 misses outside to the left-handed batting Matt Joyce. West Michigan hitting .256 as a team. That's tied for 5th in the 14-team Midwest League. Joyce bounces it over the hill for an RBI single. Matt Joyce has his team-high 53rd RBI of the year. Will Rhymes scores on the bouncer over the mound into center field. RBI number 53 for Matt Joyce. And a walk, stolen base, ground out, and single give the Whitecaps a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 on, 1 out for Mike Hernandez. Mike Hernandez, the cleanup batter, hitting .313 in just 39 games, signed by the Tigers out of Oklahoma State. He's made a big impact for the Whitecaps. 7 home runs, 33 RBIs. Ball 1 is low from the Colonel 9-game winner, Stephen Merrick. Stephen has not gotten ahead of any of the first 4 hitters in this West Michigan first inning. Matt Joyce has 2 steals and 4 tries. He's not running. And a fastball way high. It's 2-0. Don't know if Stephen had a bad bullpen or if he's having trouble getting used to the mound, but cause for concern because Kernan Ronan comes out to the mound. And Kernan's heart-to-heart conversation with Stephen Merrick is sponsored by Mercy Medical Center. Everyone says you've got a wonderful heart. Mercy Medical Center can help you keep it that way with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. It could save your life. It's quick, easy, and convenient. And to schedule your $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center, all you need to do is pick up the phone and call Mercy 398-6821, 398-6821. And Kernan Ronan has completed his heart-to-heart conversation with Stephen Merrick here in the bottom of the first inning. The 2-0 to Mike Hernandez. Instead, a throw to first, and back safely standing up Matt Joyce. West Michigan is hitting .256 as a team, but only .241 here at home. They're a much better hitting ball club on the road. They bat .272 on the road. A smash to third, gloved by Dallas Morris. Throws to Infante at second, out, and on to first, out. Mike Hernandez hits a one-hopper to third, and that gets the Colonels and Stephen Merrick out of the first inning. The around-the-horn double play went 5-4-3. 5-4-3. Morris to Infante to Josh Davies. 1 run on a walk, a stolen base, 1 hit for the Whitecaps in the first. No Colonel errors, and West Michigan leaves the bases empty. Colonels come to bat in the top of the second. Whitecaps lead it 1-0.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you see well. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A swift, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wink from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
What you're looking for, just
Larry Infante will lead off the Kernels second here in Grand Rapids, where the Whitecaps capitalized on a walk and stolen base and a RBI single to score a run in the bottom of the first. Larry Infante did not play in last night's Kernels series opening 7-0 triumph. Larry is batting .228. 3 home runs, 19 RBIs. Larry's been hitting very, very well the last 6 weeks. Burke Badenhop's first pitch is a strike called on the outside corner. The Whitecap outfield plays the Colonel left-handed hitting number 5 batter. Straight away. Ball 1 outside, a fastball. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization from last night. We'll give them to you after this 1-1 pitch is high and away to Larry, ball 2. Former Colonel right-hander John Lackey gave up a leadoff single in the first inning to Oakland, then was perfect. 27 batters in a row. Leading, here's a line shot and a leaping stab at second to take a hit away from Infante by Will Rhymes. Will's only 5'9", and he stretched out completely, leaping high to snare that hard smash off the bat of Larry Infante. 1 away here in the Colonel's second inning. Will Rhymes with his second outstanding defensive play, and he also walked, stole second, and scored in the first. It's ironic. A lot of times the smallest guy on the diamond will be the best player. Will Rhymes is 5'9". Mark Trumbo takes ball 1, a breaking ball inside. Mark had a good night last night. 2 for 4. And a high fly ball into shallow right. Going back is Will Rhymes. Matt Joyce calls him off, the right fielder, and there are quickly 2 away here in the Colonel's second inning as Mark Trumbo flies to right. Getting back to our Halo happenings, the 1-hit shutout by former Colonel John Lackey in a Angel 4-0 win, up the Angel record to 41-45. Oakland leads the West. They're 45-41. Former Colonel catcher Mike Napoli was 1 for 4 in the Angel win, and former Colonel shortstop Tommy Murphy was 0 for 3. 2 away here in the Colonel's second. 1-0 Whitecaps. Dallas Morris takes low and in for a ball. From 6'5", 220-pound Burke Badenhop. A ground ball to short, backhanded in the hole by Hollimon, and Mike's throw is in time, and the Colonels go down 1-2-3, across in the top of the second. Dallas Morris, who had 2 doubles last night, grounds out to short. Back to the hill, 9-game winner, All-Star Stephen Merrick, for the second inning. And the Whitecaps lead it 1-0.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
It's a fact that Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center has the finest quality flowers and plants for indoors or outdoors, and all the free expert advice you'll need to make your flowers and plants grow their best. When's the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants? Well, Peck's will tell you, and I think you'd agree, it's summertime. Whether you need a single flower or an entire arrangement, one house plant or a yard of landscaping, Peck's can handle it all. Peck's is family-owned, and they've been serving eastern Iowa since 1956. That's 50 years. Peck's offers you, the customer, the best plants and flowers in our market. So stop in often this summer for fresh flowers and plants at Peck's Flower and Garden Shop, Nursery and Landscaping. They're at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast. Peck's is open late 5 o'clock, or they're open till 8 on weeknights until 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. 1-0 West Michigan as they send Justin Justice, a left-handed batter, to the plate to open up the second inning. Justice, a .288 hitter with 3 homers, 43 RBIs. Justin Justice was a 31st-round pick of the Tigers in 2003. He's 21 years old. 22-year-old Colonel right-hander Stephen Merrick brings in a fastball on the inside corner, a strike called to the left-handed batter, Justin Justice. 0-for-3 last night. Ball 1 misses just outside. Getting back to our look at results from around the Angel organization from last night, AAA Salt Lake edged Sacramento 4-3 as Merrick's curveball is outside, ball 2. And it was former Colonel All-Star second baseman, Midwest League batting titleist Howie Kendrick driving in 2 for Salt Lake. He was 1-for-3. And Stephen falls behind Justin Justice 3-1 with the fastball outside. Stephen Merrick's just not himself early in this game. He's been unable to get ahead of the hitters and throw strikes. And his fastball was very good, but the plate umpire, who's squeezing both Burke Badenhop and Stephen Merrick, called it ball 4. The reason that was a strike, Justin Justice stood there for about 3 seconds waiting for Kellen Levy to call it a strike, but Levy said it was high, a letter-high fastball, ball 4. So the Whitecaps' second inning starts the same way their first did, with a leadoff walk. Not sure if Stephen Merrick is having trouble with his release point or the mound, or I don't think Stephen would be nervous pitching in front of 9,000 people. He's just not quite himself, but we've been spoiled by him. He's been so good every time out this season. A fastball at the knees, and Stephen gets ahead of the 6'4" right-handed hitting Dusty Ryan. 1-0 Whitecaps. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Dusty Ryan was 1-for-2 last night. Walked with 2 outs in the 7th to bring the tying run to the plate at that point in the game. Beautiful yellow hammer, and it's strike 2 called to Ryan. Stephen Merrick gets ahead of the .296 hitting catcher with 5 homers, 31 RBIs. Again, Salt Lake beat Sacramento 4-3 last night, and the Salt Lake B record, the AAA affiliate of the Angels, 52-36. The runner goes. A curve low, the throw to second. Runner safe on a head-first slide. Justin Justice with the torpedo head-first slide, much to the astonishment of Larry Infante, was called safe by DeAndre Anderson, the base umpire. The curveball looked like strike 3 call to the batter, but plate umpire Kellen Levy said it was low, and now the Whitecaps have a runner at second with nobody out. Same scenario as the first inning, a walk and a stolen base. Dusty Ryan takes a fastball downstairs, ball 2. Ryan's from Merced Junior College in California. Boy, the Whitecaps look like a different team tonight. They're taking the game to the Kernels in a big way, taking pitch after pitch and then running, stealing bases. Dusty Ryan is jammed and rolls the 2-2 pitch into the first base Whitecap dugout. Well, Stephen Merrick's pitch count is extraordinarily high already. We're only in the second inning, and Stephen's really had to throw a lot of pitches already. Dusty Ryan, a wide stance, fills up the entire batter's box and swings at a changeup and misses. Strikeout number 1 for All-Star Stephen Merrick. He got Dusty Ryan on a terrific 2-2 changeup for the first out here in the Whitecaps' second inning. West Michigan has a runner at second, 1 out, and they lead it 1-0. Wichita Falls beat the Angel AA team, the Arkansas Travelers, last night, 9-8 in 11 innings. Former Colonel All-Star shortstop Brandon Wood slugged his 19th home run, and former Colonel catcher Bobby Wilson was 3 for 5 for Arkansas. Stephen Merrick's first pitch to switch-hitting shortstop Mike Hollimon is high and outside, ball 1. Hollimon out of Oral Roberts University. 23 years old, Mike lives in Dallas, Texas. That's where we went to the winter meetings this past December, our front office staff. Mike Hollimon rolls a weak foul ball halfway to the Whitecap first base dugout. And it's 1-1 to Mike. There are picnic decks down the left field line and down the right field line here at Fifth Third Ballpark. Mike Hollimon takes strike two called on the outside corner. Flint Whipke calls time, and Flint wants to talk it over with Stephen Merrick. Now Heinley Stacia trots in from shortstop. He also wants a word with the Colonel right-hander. The public address announcer here does all sorts of things to get the crowd involved in the game, to get them riled up. I don't know I can't understand what he's saying to prompt their loud cheering and wild screams, but he is an instigator. In a good way. Hollimon lays off a fastball upstairs, and it's 2-2 to Mike. 1-0 Whitecaps, and they're batting in the second inning with a runner at second and one out. Mike Hollimon, a slightly open stance, was 0-for-3 last night. Switch hitter batting left, and he shoots one into left, a base hit. Rounding third is Justin Justice. The throw by Madison Edwards is cut off, and the runner holds at third, Justin Justice. A base hit in the hole past the diving Colonel shortstop Heinley Stacia. Justin Justice was waved home initially by skipper Matt Walbeck, then stopped. Mike Hollimon went the other way and drilled a single into left. And West Michigan, as I said, looks like a completely different team tonight than they did last night. They look determined to tie this series at a game apiece, and they have really given the Colonel 9-game winner Stephen Merrick all sorts of trouble. Mark Haskey, a 5'10", 165-pound left-handed hitting third baseman now at the plate. Haskey's 23 years old. He went to the University of Cincinnati, a 23rd round pick by Detroit last year. A throw to first, and Mike Hollimon, who's 8 for 10 in stolen bases, returns hand first. Rancho Cucamonga had only 5 hits last night. They lost in Visalia 7-1. The Quake second half record 6-9. Fastball inside, ball one to Mark Haskey. Until Stephen Merrick can get that first pitch strike over, the Whitecaps are going to take. Michael Collins had a home run, one of the 5 Rancho Cucamonga hits, and that drove in himself the only run of the night. Ball 2 high and away to Mark Haskey. This is just so unlike Stephen Merrick that you really are searching for an explanation as to what his dilemma is, unless it's just simply one of the few tough starts he's had this year. You get spoiled by the great degree of excellence of Stephen Merrick. Last night, Nick Adenhart, Colonel 10-game winner, who was promoted to Rancho, pitched 2 innings, gave up a hit, struck out 3. I'm sure Nick had to catch a plane from California out to Pittsburgh for the Futures game. A little looper to the shortstop, and this will be the second out of the inning. Heinley Stacia backpedals 1 step into the grass in shallow left. Mark Haskey on a 2-0 count has popped out to short, and there are 2 away now in the Whitecaps second inning. The batter, Jeremy Laster. Jeremy Laster was 0 for 1 last night. He wrapped into a double play, pinch hitting in the 9th inning. Jeremy Laster from Tennessee, Nashville that is a right-handed hitter. He's in his 4th year of pro ball. The Tigers took him in the 12th round in 2003. Jeremy Laster, right-handed batter with an open stance. His open stance very similar to our Dallas Morris's. Laster hitting .209. The runner from first goes, and Jeremy Laster lifts the first pitch foul up into the right field, or first base stands, that is. Strike 1 on Jeremy Laster. Laster, a .209 hitter. Orem, the Orem Owls in the Pioneer League, lost to the Casper Rockies last night, 11-7. Orem's record is now 10-8, and the Arizona Rookie Angels won. Their record 6-7.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, excuse me, the Arizona Rookie Angels lost to the Royal minor leaguers 8-2 in the Arizona Rookie League. The runner goes, a curve high, no throw by Flint Whipke. Stolen base number 3 tonight for the Whitecaps. Mike Hollimon has his 9th stolen base of the year. No throw by Flint on a curveball that stayed high and inside to Jeremy Laster. Now there are 2 runners in scoring position. Boy, Stephen Merrick is fidgeting. He's just not himself. Now, that's not to say he's not going to come around and find his good stuff. A lot of good pitchers scuffle in the first couple of innings. There's a dandy curveball that's a strike 2 call to Jeremy Laster, the number 9 hitter. 1-0 Whitecaps. They have runners at second and third. With 2 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Stephen Merrick comes set below the letters and whizzes a fastball that swung and tipped foul into the glove of catcher Flint Whipke. That's strike 3. How about Stephen Merrick? For struggling in the first 2 innings, he keeps the Whitecaps from adding to their lead, getting Jeremy Laster to tip a foul ball into the glove of Flint Whipke and end the Whitecaps' second inning threat. No runs for West Michigan, a walk, 1 hit, 2 stolen bases, no Kernel errors, and the Whitecaps leave a pair. The Kernels come to bat in the top of the third inning with West Michigan on top, 1-0.
Pepsi Smash.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when you call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. And you can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8/6/06. Ringtones must be downloaded by 8/20/06. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
1-0 in favor of West Michigan before a full house here at Fifth Third Ballpark. The bleachers that were in right center field the last several years have been completely obliterated, and they've built a stadium club sponsored by Pepsi with full amenities, glass windows, air-conditioned, climate-controlled comfort. That's in right center field as Flint Whipke takes a strike on the inside corner at the knees. Flint batting for the first time this evening, hitting 8th in the Allen Motor Company order, and the next one from right-hander Badenhop is low and outside. Flint Whipke 1 for 5, helped the Kernels score their first run of the night in the 4th inning. Flint bounces it to third, shallow. Mark Haskey has it and throws in time to get Flint Whipke. Flint Whipke is out on a bouncer to third, and here's Madison Edwards. Madison, left-handed hitter, playing left field tonight. His average 127, no homers, 2 RBIs for Madison Edwards. Madison out of Texas Tech in Lubbock. Edwards hails from Midland, Texas, and Madison remembers watching Angel minor leaguers when we had our AA affiliate down in Midland, Texas. Of course, the last 5 or 6 years, the Angels have been in Little Rock, Arkansas. After the Cardinals left Little Rock, they went to Erie, Pennsylvania, of all places, and now the Cardinals are thriving at AA in Springfield, Missouri, down near Branson. Swinging a foul straight back by the left-handed hitter Edwards, and a cut fastball is down and in. Ball 1 to Madison. Badenhop is from Bowling Green State University in Ohio. They have a very good hockey program. Swing and a miss on a changeup, and it's 1-2 to Madison. Kernels looking for their first hit we had a base runner in the first inning. Heinley Stacia drew a 2-out walk, but since then, 5 straight Kernels have been set down by the tall right-hander who winds and delivers, and a broken bat bouncer to third. Mark Haskey's been busy. He pegs in time to get Madison Edwards, and there are 2 away here in the Kernel third inning. 3 assists already for the third baseman, Mark Haskey. 1-0 Whitecaps, 2 away here in the Kernel third inning. Anytime Stephen Merrick's on the hill, you feel like if we get 2-3 runs, we have a great chance to win, and that's the scenario so far tonight. 1-0 Whitecaps. We're in the third inning. Brad Kuhn fakes a bunt and takes high. Brad had a hit taken away from him on an outstanding play to his left by the second baseman, Will Rhymes, in the first inning. Kuhn lays off a changeup outside, ball 2. Brad hitting .268. No homers, 21 RBIs, and a league-high 32 steals. Brad stole second and third in the Kernel 7-0 victory here last night. Ball 3 just outside. Brad Kuhn is ahead on the count now. 3-0. Ball 4 whizzes high and inside. Brad Kuhn draws a 4-pitch walk with 2 out here in the Kernel third inning. Tyne run at first. 2 away for Josh Davies. The Kernels played one of their best games of the year last night. And I say that knowing that we played very well in the second half, but last night the pitching, the defense, the base running, the offense, they were all functioning together in great fashion. Josh Davies spanks the first pitch foul into the Kernel third base dugout. Strike 1 to Josh. Davies, wearing his gray road pants down low, wearing a long sleeve red shirt underneath his Kernel gray road top. Brad Kuhn is leading away at first. He has a big lead, being held by Pedro Cotto. The runner goes. Kuhn, the throw to second. Brad is safe. Brad Kuhn, with his league-high 33rd stolen base of the year, beat the throw by Dusty Ryan by just a whisker with a head-first slide as Josh Davies took a pitch outside for a ball. Dusty Ryan had a good pitch to handle. His throw to second was accurate, but Brad Kuhn was too fast, had too big a break, and Kuhn steals second. Tyne run at second, and ball 2 misses inside, a fastball to Josh Davies. 1-0 West Michigan. The Kernels have the Tyne run at second with 2 away here in the top of the third inning. Burke Badenhop comes step below the chin, delivers, and a swing and a miss on a pitch in on the hands, or a tipped foul, rather, at the feet of Josh Davies. Deuces are wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 out, and Brad Kuhn, the tying run at second. Josh Davies swings and just got a piece of that 2-2 delivery and tips it foul behind home plate. Well, we have 4 finals from this afternoon in the National League and 1 final from earlier today in the American League, and we'll be giving you those sometime in the next several moments. A ground ball foul to Bobby Magallanes keeps Josh Davies even on the count 2-2. This afternoon at U.S. Cellular Park on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the Red Sox beat the White Sox 9-6. A doubleheader at Shea Stadium saw the Marlins win the first game over the Mets 3-2. The Mets bounced back and dismantled Florida 17-3, 17-3 in the nightcap. Badenhop's 2-2 is grounded to third. Haskey has it, tags out Brad Kuhn to end the inning. Mark Haskey tags out Brad Kuhn, going from second to third to end the Kernel third inning. No runs for the Kernels, a walk. Brad Kuhn's league-high 33rd stolen base of the year. There were no Kernel hits and no Whitecap errors. The Kernels leave a runner and it's stranded 2. The other finals we have on the State Farm Major League scoreboard at Minute Maid Park in 10 innings, the Redbirds shaded Houston 7-6, and at Chavez Ravine, the Giants clubbed the Dodgers 11-7. Those scores brought to you by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schubat. After 2.5 in Grand Rapids, the Whitecaps lead the Kernels 1-0.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Colonel Team Physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Colonel's parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players.
Will Rhymes opens up the West Michigan third, and on an 0-1 pitch, he slaps it on 2 hops weakly to his counterpart at second, Larry Infante. Larry has it and throws out. Will Rhymes, one away here in the Whitecap third inning, 1-0 West Michigan. Will Rhymes walked on 4 pitches, stole second, and scored on a 2-out single in the first by Matt Joyce to plate the evening's only run. Let's give you a bit more of a ground ball past the mound, and Heinle Stacia charges and throws in time to get Pedro Cotto. Pedro Cotto is 0 for 2 as he picked on the first pitch from Stephen Merrick and grounded it to the left of the mound. It hit the side of the hill and rolled weakly to shortstop Heinle Stacia, who charged and threw out left-handed hitting Pedro Cotto. 2 away here in the Whitecap third inning. Stephen Merrick trying to retire the Whitecaps in order for the first time. I wanted to try to paint a little fuller and more detailed picture of this marvelous facility here in Grand Rapids. It's right off an interstate highway, only about 5-minute drive north of downtown. There is a video board in left field, down the left field line, about 60 feet to the right of the left field foul pole. That video board flashes the Whitecap player picture, the headshot they call it, along with the player's name and number. And to the left of the video board is a picnic deck, a 2-tiered picnic deck that is, well, the left field foul pole dissects it. So it runs from foul ground beyond the Colonel left field bullpen into home run territory. 2 balls, 1 strike to Matt Joyce, who delivered an RBI single through the middle in the first inning. Matt Joyce is 2 for 2 as he laces a base hit over the head of Larry Infante in right field. Matt Joyce, a .251 batter, serves a 2-out single into right for the Whitecaps, and that brings up Mike Hernandez, who hit into an inning-ending double play in the Whitecap first inning. The main scoreboard, or the larger scoreboard here at Fifth Third Ballpark, is in left center field. And it has the Fifth Third Ballpark, the Fifth Third logo on it, and then a crest the shape of a baseball diamond. It's green and red and white. Green, red, and white. Ball 1 inside to Mike Hernandez out of Oklahoma State. Tall, strong, right-handed batter. Below that Fifth Third Ballpark crest or logo is a digital message center that flashes up various announcements and welcomes the groups that are here. Swing, a late swing and a miss by Hernandez, and it's 1-1 to Mike. There's also a clock on the scoreboard in left center, and the Whitecap logo. The clock reminds us that we want to remind you that you're tuned to Colonel Baseball at the top of the hour on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG. A throw to first, and Matt Joyce returns safely. The Whitecaps have run rampant on the base paths so far. They have 3 stolen bases in the first 2 2/3 innings. Now the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Hernandez helped out Stephen Merrick as Mike swung at a high fastball. The flagpole here is nestled between the dark green net that serves as the batter's eye and the main scoreboard in left center. And atop that silver flagpole is an oversized American flag that is unfurling towards the parking lot in center field, indicating the breeze is blowing from home plate to center. Stephen Merrick chases Matt Joyce back to first with a throw over there. Then as you move to the right of the hitter's eye, the newest addition to this ballpark, I mentioned the Pepsi Stadium Club where bleachers used to be. And boy, that's a big, big curve and a curve and strike 3 call to Mike Hernandez. Mike Hernandez took a breaking ball that rolled off the table from Stephen Merrick for strike 3. No runs in the Whitecap third. 1 hit, no Colonel errors. West Michigan leaves 1. They've stranded 3. On top of the Pepsi Stadium Club is the Miller Lite Lighthouse. There's actually a lighthouse shaped like a Miller Lite bottle, and then on top of the Pepsi Stadium Club is an open-air deck with a couple of big blue and white tents that have Miller Lite's logo on them. That's a bit of the flavor and feel for the fun atmosphere, the setting for baseball here in Grand Rapids, where, after 3 innings, the Whitecaps lead the Kernels 1-0.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and tastes, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
We go to the top of the 4th inning, and a strike taken by Heinley Stacia, who walked with 2 outs in the first. Now ball 1 is upstairs to Heinley. 1-1 to Heinley Stacia. 1-0 Whitecaps. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss by Heinley on a changeup for strike 2. Kernels looking for their first hit against Burke Badenhop. The 1-2 to the Colonel switch hitter is a backdoor curve that misses outside. It's 2-2 to Heinley. Heart of the order here for the Kernels. In the 4th inning, a ground ball knocked down by the first baseman Cotto, who underhands to the pitcher Badenhop covering, and Heinley Stacia cracked it hard, pulled it to the first baseman, and he's retired. 3-1, first baseman to pitcher for the first out here in the 4th inning. If some regular folks like Andy Pantini and Lanny Peterson, regular, meaning regular listeners, Lanny and Andy are not regular folks, they're regular listeners, they're extraordinary people. Fellas, I want to pass on a cause of concern, an email from Mark Trumbo's mom, Debbie, and it's a very kind, upbeat email, but it does cause me some concern. According to Mark Trumbo's mother, they're listening to the Whitecaps broadcast because they cannot connect to ours. And Debbie said, we'd much rather listen to hear the game from the Colonel perspective. And it says, if we can do anything to help, please do. And Debbie Trumbo, thank you so much. What I'll do is I will see if Andy Pantini or Lanny Peterson are hooked up to the Internet, and if they are, they can email me and let me know if there is a broadcast connection here from Fifth Third Field. And Debbie Trumbo, I'm sorry you're having trouble connecting with our broadcast in California. That is unusual, and I've passed on your email, or I haven't passed on your email. I'm saying now that if Andy Pantini back in Cedar Rapids or Lanny Peterson back in Cedar Rapids could email me at john@kernels.com and let me know if they're hearing the broadcast, that would be great. Or any other of you Colonel listeners on the Internet, if you are hearing this broadcast as usual on www.kernels.com, could you please email me, john@kernels.com, to let me know that the problem that Debbie Trumbo was having has been rectified. Jordan Renge with one out here in the fourth takes down and in for a ball. It's 2-2 to Jordan. 1-0 Whitecaps. We'll have a chance for you to earn a pair of tickets to an upcoming Bruce Moore Classic production in the fifth inning, our Bruce Moore Bonanza. Ball 3 low from Badenhop. Burke comes almost straight over the top. The 6'5" right-hander is yet to give up a hit through 3 1/3 innings, and he and his Whitecaps lead the Kernels 1-0. 3-2 to Renz is pounded foul in foul ground. It's backhanded at third by Mark Haskey, back of the bag, and it's still a full count to Jordan Renz. And again, if anyone is listening on the Internet, okay, thank you very much. Debbie Trumbo, thank you very much. I got your email. Lanny, thank you. Ball 4 inside to Jordan Renz. Lanny Peterson, thank you so much. Debbie Trumbo, thank you. I just got your emails. Debbie, let me read yours. It says everything's okay now. All right. Debbie, thank you. And Lanny, let me get to yours here. Lanny Peterson, kind enough to email us. And, yes, we are coming across fine, and that's great. Well, I'll tell you, Lanny, I'm sorry I can't answer your question. Maybe somebody else can. Lanny Peterson saying we're coming across fine on the Internet, confirming Debbie Trumbo. Lanny said tomorrow is the Futures game. What time and what channel? Boy, Lanny, I don't know the answer to that. Swing and a miss on a 1-0 pitch by Larry Infante. The Kernels have the tying run at first with one out here in the fourth inning, trailing 1-0. Larry Infante had a hit taken away from him on a leaping catch at second by Will Rhymes, leading off the second inning. Ground ball, a double play ball to short, gobbled up by Mike Hollimon, steps on second, throws to first, and it is an inning-ending double play. Larry Infante grounds into a 6-3 inning-ending double play here in the fourth inning. Kernels have drawn 3 walks, but don't have a hit yet against Burke Badenhop, and in the fourth inning, no runs for the Kernels, no hits, a walk. A double play turned shortstop to first by the Whitecaps. No errors by West Michigan. The Kernels leave. The base is empty. Lanny Peterson, a great friend of the Kernels. Lanny's coordinates our housing program, our host family program, and perhaps if anyone can help Lanny out, he would like to watch the Futures game tomorrow in Pittsburgh, and he's not sure what time it starts and what channel it will be on. Howie Kendrick, Nick Adenhart, and former Colonel manager Todd Klaus will be there. And thank you, Lanny. I'm sorry I cannot help you, Lanny, with your question. I just don't keep up with the big league scene, or in this case, the All-Star game, Futures game, like I'd like to. I just can't answer your question, but if somebody can help Lanny Peterson out, letting him know what time the Futures game is tomorrow and what channel it will be on. We go to the bottom of the fourth before a capacity crowd at Fifth Third Ballpark in Grand Rapids, and the Whitecaps still lead the Kernels 1-0.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the summer reading program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward to be claimed at the Ben Ritter Diamond Shop at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For every child that reaches 1,000 minutes, They will be invited to the Kernels Reader Recognition Day, Sunday, August 27th. They will receive the autographs of Kernels players on the field. Encourage your child to start reading today, helping them reach their goals for the summer.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Justin Justice opens up the Whitecap fourth by slapping a pitch on a low line to the left of Dallas Morris into left field. Justin Justice reaches for the second time. Leadoff single for the number 5 hitter here in the Whitecap fourth. They lead it 1-0. The sun is shining brightly, and it is a factor as Josh Davies, the first baseman, holds Justin Justice at first. Justin walked and stole second in the second inning as the leadoff batter, and he leads off the West Michigan fourth with a base hit into left. Beautiful yellow hammer, a strike to Dusty Ryan, who struck out in the second inning. 1-0 West Michigan. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning, and a chance for you to earn a pair of tickets to the Classics at Bruce Moore coming up in the top of the fifth inning. I can't tell you the name of the production because it's the subject of our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. So there in itself is a hint. We'll have the Bruce Moore Bonanza question for you when the Kernels bat in the top of the fifth, and you'll find the answer to it by logging on to Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org. One on, nobody out. A short lead at first for Justin Justice. Dusty Ryan lines it to Infante. Larry leaps and has it. Throws to first, not in time. Oh, a well-timed leaping grab at second by Larry Infante. And that takes a base hit away from Dusty Ryan and is the first out here in the Whitecap fourth inning. Larry Infante on a humpback liner timed his jump perfectly. Fully extended, thrusting his glove hand up high above his navy blue Colonel cap. Larry Infante nabbed that hard-hit ball by Dusty Ryan and then threw to first, but good base running by Justin Justice, who got back. It's still 1-0 Whitecaps. West Michigan has a runner at first with one out here in the fourth inning. I didn't even have time to tell you that during last night's broadcast, we're facing the best pitching staff in the league. West Michigan's team ERA, 2.75. The Colonel ERA is the second lowest in the league, 3.22. Stephen Merrick pitching to Mike Hollimon, a switch-hitting shortstop, and Hollimon looks at the first delivery low for ball one. 1-0 Whitecaps. And we're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Hollimon with an open stance. Hits a high fly ball down the line and right. A long run for Jordan Renz, and it's foul. Home run distance, but foul onto the picnic patio in right field. The deck in right field has a roof on top of it. And I mean, Mike Hollimon lifted it high and deep to right. I couldn't see it for a while. I took my cue from Jordan Renz, who went racing over towards the right field foul line at strike one to Mike Hollimon, who does have 6 home runs. A throw to first, no tag by first baseman Josh Davies. Monday, July 17th, it's Game 6 of our upcoming 7-game homestand, and it's a Dollar Dog Monday as we take on the runner goes, and Hollimon tomahawks the 1-1 pitch high and foul into the third base stands, and it's 1-2 to Mike Hollimon. Justin Justice was running on the play, and he returns to first. It's a Dollar Dog Monday, July 17th. You can enjoy $1 hot dogs throughout the ball game that starts at 7 on Monday, July 17th. Hot dogs are only $1 on Monday nights at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Stephen comes set, throws to first, and back safely is Justin Justice. The Whitecaps have out-hit us 4-0, lead the game 1-0 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Before a sellout crowd. Hollimon on the 1-2 delivery takes it just outside, agonizingly close to being a called third strike. A backdoor breaking pitch that froze Mike Hollimon. Hard to believe that Hollimon could take that pitch. Hard to believe that Kellen Levy, the plate umpire, could rule it a ball, but that's what he did. And the count 2-2 to Mike Hollimon. We wrap up our upcoming 7-game homestand with lunch at the ballpark Tuesday, July 18th, a noon start. Throw to first, runner saved. Ooh, Josh Davies and the Kernels. Now the throw gets by Stephen Merrick, but backing up the play is Dallas Morris. Josh Davies' throw from first to pitcher was wild and got by Stephen Merrick, rolled towards the Kernel third base dugout. Dallas Morris alertly scampered in, and fortunately for the Kernels, Justin Justice, who looked out at first base, was not able to go to second. Josh Davies winced in agony when DeAndre Anderson called the runner safe. Now ball 3 inside, and with 1 out, Justin Justice should be going, or I think will be going, on this payoff delivery. You can enjoy a hamburger, cheeseburger, or any regular sandwich for our noon start, July 18th. The runner goes, and a swing and a foul straight back. You can enjoy a hamburger, cheeseburger, or any regular sandwich, plus a beverage and bag of chips for just $5 on Tuesday, July 18th. The gates open at 11. It's a noon start. It's a triple play Tuesday. What's a triple play? It's a hamburger, a cheeseburger, or any regular sandwich, beverage, and bag of chips for only $5. The runner, Justice, is going, and another 3-2 pitch foul. This one goes into the suites to our left. Another improvement they've made here at Old Kent Park. The suite holders used to be restricted to watching the game from inside. There were no seats that hung down or extended from the suites. Well, there are now 2 rows of pale blue seats. For a third time, the runner goes, and a base hit past Josh Davies into the right field corner. Rounding second, heading to third, Justin Justice. They wave him home. The throw home by Renz. Runner is out at the plate on a one-hop strike from deep right field by Jordan Renz. Jordan Renz may have turned this game around as he throws Justin Justice out on a double into right by Mike Hollimon. Jordan Renz's throw came all the way in on one hop. It was way up the third base line. Well, not way up, but 8 or 10 feet up the line. But Flint Whipke caught the one-hop peg, tagged out Justin Justice, tagged him out for the second out of the fourth inning. That play by Renz may turn this game around. Mike Hollimon on a third 3-2 pitch from Stephen Merrick basted a rope, a line drive over the head of Josh Davies at first, down the right field line. Jordan Renz went to his left, cut it off, and threw all the way on one hop from deep, deep right field to the plate. Whipke tagged out Justin Justice on a double by Mike Hollimon. Now, Mark Haskey grounds the first pitch from Stephen Merrick foul past first base, strike 1. It's still 1-0 Whitecaps on a dazzling strong throw to the plate by Jordan Renz that cut down Justin Justice at the plate. Justice tried to go around the tag of Flint Whipke. Whipke tagged out the runner just in front, or just behind, the fungo hitting circle, and the fungo hitting circle is about 12 feet up the third base line. Now ball 1 is low to left-handed batting Mark Haskey, who pinch hit in the 9th inning last night. He takes strike 2 called from Stephen Merrick. Mark Haskey popped out to short to end the game as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning last night. Haskey, the number 8 hitter in the Whitecap order. Left-handed batter. Stevens, 1-2 pitch with the runner at second, is squibbed up the first baseline. Josh Davies gloves it and then takes 5 big steps to his left, steps on the base to end the inning. And the Kernels have momentum in this game. Even though we trail 1-0, the Kernels have the momentum in this game thanks to a dazzling throw to the plate by Jordan Renz to cut down Justin Justice at the plate. Jordan Renz is high-fived as he comes in from right field. He gets pats on the back and high-fives, deservedly so. No runs for the Whitecaps on 2 hits in the 4th inning. There were no Colonel errors. A man cut down at the plate by Renz, and the Whitecaps leave a runner aboard. They've stranded 4. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question comes your way in the top of the 5th inning. Through 4 here at Fifth Third Ballpark. It's the Whitecaps on top of the Kernels, 1-0.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
We go to the 5th inning, a fast-moving Game 2 here in Grand Rapids. The Whitecaps lead at 1-0, and Mark Trumbo stands in to lead off for the Kernels in the 5th. Mark falls behind 1-2. He took a ball, then took a strike, and now is swing and a miss. We want to thank Colonel listeners Lynn Rice and Debbie Trumbo for helping us out. Lanny Peterson, we have an answer for you on tomorrow's Futures Game telecast. Ball 2 outside, a sweeping curve from 6'5" Burke Badenhop. Mark Trumbo had 2 hits in the Colonel win last night. Started the Colonel 3-run 9th inning with a base hit to right. Takes a borderline pitch at the knees for strike 3 called. That strikeout, the first of the night for Burke Badenhart, who has yet to give up a hit through 4 1/3 innings. Thanks to Lynn Rice and Debbie Trumbo, Lanny Peterson had put out an all-points appeal to listeners. What time is the Futures Game tomorrow that former Colonel manager Todd Klaus will manage in, and former Colonels Howie Kendrick and Nick Adenhart will play in? It's at 3 o'clock Central Time on ESPN2. Lanny Peterson, thanks to Lynn Rice and Debbie Trumbo, we can tell you that the Futures Game will be on ESPN2 from PNC Park in Pittsburgh at 3 o'clock Central Time tomorrow afternoon. Dallas Morris takes a curve at the knees for a strike. Now a strike at the knees, a fastball. 0-2 to Dallas, who grounded out to short his first time up. The 0-2 is a hard-hit smash on one hop to Mike Hollimon, the shortstop on to first for the second out here in the Colonel 5th inning. Well, Burke Badenhop has been the man for the Whitecaps. He has not given up a hit through 4 2/3 innings. He's walked 3, but he has protected a Whitecap 1-0 lead. So again, thanks to Lynn Rice and Debbie Trumbo for letting our listeners know, including Lanny Peterson, who put the question forth, what time is the Futures Game tomorrow? What channel is it on? Lanny, thanks to Lynn Rice and Debbie Trumbo, they have told us through email that it's on ESPN2 at 3 o'clock Central Time. Strike one to Flint Whipke, who bounced out to third, leading off the third inning. Flint knuckles the next pitch foul into the first base stands, and it's 0-2 to the Colonel catcher, Flint Whipke. We'll have our Bruce Moore Bonanza question between innings. This inning is just going too quickly, so we'll have our Bruce Moore Bonanza question for you after the Colonel's bat here in the top of the fifth inning. Flint Whipke loops one into shallow center. Coming on is Jeremy Laster, and it falls in front of him. Flint Whipke, a Texas League single that looked like Jeremy Laster was going to get to, but I think Jeremy misjudged it off the bat, and it falls at the feet of Jeremy Laster. The Colonels have their first hit of the night and have the tying run at first with 2 out here in the fifth inning. Flint Whipke, a Texas League looper, dumps it in front of the center fielder, Jeremy Laster, and that's the first Colonel hit of this game. Madison Edwards at the plate takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question, you'll find the answer to it on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org. And if you've answered our Bruce Moore Bonanza question correctly already this spring or summer, that's okay. You can email us tonight. Strike two, a fastball to Madison Edwards. Madison steps out, all the way out of the dirt batting circle to try to put his thoughts back together. Madison, 0 for 1 tonight, batting with the tying run at first. 2 out here in the top of the fifth inning, 1-0 Whitecaps. The 6'6" right-hander's pitch is swung on and missed. Strike three. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Burke Badenhop, and no runs for the Colonels in the top of the fifth. 1 hit, though, our first of the night. There were no Whitecap errors. The Colonels leave a runner and have stranded 3. Here are the steps to follow right now as the Whitecaps will bat in the bottom of the fifth inning, leading 1-0. You can earn yourself a pair of tickets to the Classics at Bruce Moore's production of what? That's the question. What is the longest-running musical comedy in history that will be performed at Bruce Moore later this month? Email us the name of the longest-running musical comedy in history. It will be performed as the Classics at Bruce Moore later this month of July. You can earn 2 tickets to it if you email me now at john@kernels.com, JOHN@Kernels, KERNELS.com. Name the longest-running musical comedy in history. It will be performed at Bruce Moore later this month of July, and if you email me the name of it, you'll earn a pair of tickets to it. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question, what is the longest-running musical comedy in history? It will be performed later this month at Bruce Moore, and you can earn a pair of tickets to it by emailing me the name of it. You'll find the name of the longest-running musical comedy in history on Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org, and you can email me the answer to the Bruce Moore Bonanza question at John, JOHN@Kernels, KERNELS. That's John, JOHN@Kernels, KERNELS.com. Well, the Whitecaps scored a run in the first inning on a walk, a stolen base, and a 1-out single. Stephen Merrick has pitched in and out of trouble most of the evening, but he's kept the Colonels right on the heels of West Michigan, with the Whitecaps leading 1-0. Hey, I forgot to tell you that in addition to Bank of the West fireworks on Saturday, July 15th, my goodness, Jack Rader must be tearing his hair out saying, John, you forgot that on Saturday, July 15th, it's not only Bank of the West fireworks, it's the Blues Brothers. Yes, it is. A week from tonight, the Blues Brothers, along with fireworks at the ballpark. Boy, will that be a big draw. Ball one is inside to right-handed hitting center fielder Jeremy Laster. Now a late swing and a miss by Jeremy. Jeremy struck out his first time up. We're already in the bottom of the fifth inning before a jam-packed ballpark here in Grand Rapids, and Laster swings and fouls the next pitch into the screen. Strike two. 1-0 Whitecaps. The lights are on here. It's twilight in western Michigan. We're only about 35, 40 miles east of the shores of Lake Michigan. A changeup dips low to the number 9 batter, Jeremy Laster. open stance, right-handed batter. Leading off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss as Stephen Merrick just overpowered the number 9 hitter with a letter-high fastball. Strike 3 swinging. 1-0 West Michigan, bottom of the 5th inning. Yes, a week from tonight, the Blues Brothers will be performing throughout the evening, and Bank of the West will present fireworks. To avoid any possibility of a long line, you can order your tickets by calling 896-7560, 896-7560, or online at www.kernels.com. Ball one outside to Will Rhymes, and now Will lets loose of his bat as he fouls the next pitch into the backstop. Strike one, 1-1 to Will Rhymes. Rhymes has scored the game's only run. The pint-sized 5'9" leadoff batter from William and Mary, 5'9", hitting .259, has regained the grasp on his bat, and he's ready for Stephen Merrick's 1-1 pitch. Here it is. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Rhymes helped out Stephen Merrick by swinging at that one outside the strike zone. 1 out, nobody on, and the Whitecaps lead it 1-0. We have a winner in our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Lynette Madison, the mom of Colonel Relief pitcher Tim Madison, has correctly answered our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Rhymes bounces one on one hop to the feet of Larry Infante. Larry vacuums it in and tosses out Will Rhymes for the second out here in the Whitecap 5th inning. Boy, the Kernels, with any kind of run production tonight, I think can win this game. Trailing 1-0, 2 out in the 5th as Stephen Merrick tries to retire the Whitecap side in order for the first time this evening. Lynette Madison, the mom of Colonel pitcher Tim Madison, has earned herself a pair of tickets to the upcoming production of the longest-running musical comedy in history, The Fantastics. That'll be performed from July 13th through the 16th, July 20th through the 23rd at Bruce Moore. And Lynette Madison, if you could email us your mailing address at john@kernels.com. That way we can, or let us know if you'd like us to give your tickets to Tim. Either way, Lynette Madison, congratulations. If you could email me back at john@kernels.com with your mailing address, or if you'd like the tickets to go to Tim to the Fantastics later this month. A 1-2 pitch is a beautiful Uncle Charlie, and the curve is strike 2 to Pedro Cotto. Cotto is 0-for-2. Left-handed batter, 9th in the league with a .311 average. Stephen Merrick, fires high and outside on a 1-2 delivery. It's 2-2 now to Pedro Cotto. Lynette Madison is our Bruce Moore Bonanza question winner. A change-up and a tipped foul at the feet of the batter, staying alive, is Pedro Cotto. Lynette Madison will be emailing us either her mailing address or instructions to give the tickets she's earned as our Bruce Moore Bonanza winner to her son Tim Madison. And Lynette, you can email me at John, John, @kernels.com. That's John, John, @kernels, KERNELS.com. A 2-2 pitch is rolled foul just beyond the Whitecap first base dugout by Pedro Cotto. Now a curve and a swing and a miss. Pedro Cotto down on strikes. It's the first 1-2-3 inning of the evening for All-Star 9-game winner Stephen Merrick. Merrick gets the left-handed batter Cotto swinging. Stephen has now struck out 5 West Michigan batters. Oh, the Kernels are right on the threshold of making a run at these Whitecaps. I can feel it. After 5 innings, West Michigan leads 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council world-class apprenticeship program. These experienced tradesmen will work with sign contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Top of the order for the Kernels here in the top of the sixth inning. Brad Kuhn has grounded to second on one hop. He had a hit taken away from him on that one-hop bullet to Will Rhymes in the first. Then Brad walked and stole second. That came with 2 out in the third inning. Kuhn bunts up the first baseline. It's fielded by the first baseman, who tosses to the second baseman covering just in time. Ooh, that was a good bunt by Brad Kuhn and a well-executed defensive play by the Whitecaps. Coming in was Pedro Cotto, the first baseman. He picked up the bunt on the grass about halfway between the plate and first, and then whirled and threw to the second baseman, Will Rhymes, and it went 3-4. 3-4, a big put out by the Whitecaps to open up the Kernels' sixth inning. Now Josh Davies, the batter, in this 1-0 ball game. 1-0. West Michigan, that is. Ball one inside to Josh Davies. Davies is 0 for 2 tonight. Stephen Merrick hasn't had his best stuff, but brother, as he battled and competed, and as a result, the Kernels only trail 1-0. Strike one to Josh Davies. Hitting second in the Allen Motor Company lineup this evening for the Kernels. The 1-1. And Burke Badenhop comes in on the hands of Davies, and Josh rolls it foul behind home plate. Burke Badenhart has struck out 2 and walked 3 and allowed 1 hit in 5 1/3. Swing and a miss, strike 3 on Josh Davies. 2 gone here in the Kernels' sixth inning. That was a fastball, low and outside. And it'll be Heinle Stacia at the plate now. Well, Burke Badenhop, you can see why he has a 7-2 record and a 3.64 ERA. The league's hitting .286 against him. We haven't hit that well against him tonight, only 1 hit so far. 2 gone here in the top of the sixth inning. Heinle Stacia grounds one off the pitcher's foot to the shortstop, and behind second, zinging the throw to first is Mike Hollimon. That play went 1-6-3. Heinle Stacia, first pitch swinging, is out 1-6-3, and the Kernels go in order in the top of the sixth inning. Stephen Merrick marches back to the mound. Not much room for error tonight. The Whitecaps coming to bat in the bottom of the sixth with a 1-0 lead over the Kernels.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. When it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
This sellout crowd at Fifth Third Ballpark is having a great time of it tonight. Their Whitecaps are ahead 1-0. They'll be enjoying fireworks after the game. Remember, we have fireworks for you a week from tonight, Saturday, July 15th, along with the Blues Brothers. Bank of the West is our sponsor for the fireworks for the second time this season, and it'll be the only appearance this year at Veterans Memorial Stadium of the Blues Brothers. That's a week from tonight. The Whitecaps have the heart of their order up. The man who drove in the game's only run with a one-out single up the middle back in the first inning, Matt Joyce, bats. Joyce is 2 for 2, left-handed hitter. And it's a new Kernel pitcher. Stephen Merrick has been lifted, and right-hander Dan Hawkins has come on. How about that? Dan Hawkins has answered a U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. The right-hander with the 0-1, and it skips in the dirt, ball 1. Stephen Merrick went 5 innings, and this is 18th start of the year, allowed only 1 run on 5 hits in 5 innings. Stephen struck out 5 and walked a pair. A ground ball to the right side. Larry Infante shuffles to his left, gloves, and throws out Matt Joyce. Matt Joyce is retired for the first time tonight as he hit a worm burner to Larry Infante's left. Dan Hawkins has answered a U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. 6'3" right-hander Dan Hawkins, 23 years old, making his 4th appearance since rejoining the Kernels. After starting the season with us, Dan was promoted to Rancho Cucamonga. He pitched in 4 games for us in early April, and this is his 4th appearance since rejoining us. He misses high, ball 1 to Mike Hernandez, 0-for-2. And Hawk, as his teammates call him, falls behind 2-0, a pitch inside to Mike Hernandez, who is grounded into a double play and struck out looking. Daniel Hawkins into his full windup, and the next delivery is low and outside, a fastball from Daniel Hawkins. And a strike at the knees to Mike Hernandez, the .313 right-handed hitting DH and cleanup batter for the Whitecaps, who lead it 1-0. Bottom of the 6th inning, swing and a miss, strike 2. Dan Hawkins trying to come back and get Mike Hernandez. Daniel Hawkins last pitched at home, Monday at home, in a Kernel 7-1 win over Burlington. He pitched a scoreless inning, cracking one high, deep and foul down the right field line onto a jam-packed grass slope seating berm above the Whitecap right field bullpen is Mike Hernandez. 1-0 West Michigan. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Daniel Hawkins, 3-2. Swing and a miss. Mike Hernandez missed a changeup on the outer half, and Daniel Hawkins is retired, the first 2 Whitecaps he's faced here in the 6th inning. Let's give you the final line again on the departed Kernel starter, Stephen Merrick. He went 5 innings, allowed only 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 5, walked 2. The only run scored in this game was by the Whitecaps in the bottom of the 1st inning. A fastball low and away to Justin Justice, who reached twice against Stephen Merrick. A walk and a single. Justice was gunned out trying to score on a double by Mike Hollimon in the 4th inning. Gunned out at the plate. Strike 1 called from Dan Hawkins. Boy, Dan looks very good here in relief of Stephen Merrick. Hawkins on for the 8th time as the Colonel. 0-1 with a 2.84 ERA. Dan Hawkins has a save. He got that save back on April 11th. The 2-1 delivery to Justice. Low, ball 3. We'll be bringing you our baseball fun fact when the Colonels bat in the 7th inning. A high fly ball into deep center. Kuhn has room in front of the track. Brad is there, and Justin Justice is retired for the first time tonight as he hit one high and deep to straightaway center. It was caught by Brad Kuhn, a 1-2-3 inning for Daniel Hawkins. All right, I still think we're going to come back and get this one. The Colonels have won 5 in a row, 7 of our last 8, and as we go to the 7th inning tonight, the Whitecaps lead 1-0.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
Burke Badenhop has spun 6 shutout innings, giving the Colonels only 1 hit, walking 3. And he and the Whitecaps have a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the 7th inning at Fifth Third Ballpark. Badenhop's first pitch is taken at the knees by Jordan Renz, a strike called. Jordan, hitting .240, has grounded to short and walked tonight. The 0-1. A drive into left field, coming on Justin Justice. He dives and makes the catch. A broken bat sinking liner by Renz. Justin Justice came racing on and dove headlong and made a sprawling catch that brings this crowd to a lively crescendo. 1 out here in the Colonel's 7th inning. Still looking for that inning that we're capable of. Larry Infante is lined to second and grounded into a double play. Left-handed hitter, doesn't wear batting gloves. Ball 1 high and outside from Badenhop. The catch by Justin Justice was not a phenomenal, spectacular catch. It was a good running catch, though. Strike 1 at the knees as Larry faked a bunt. It's now 1-1 to Larry Infante. Colonels have had a tough go of it on the road hitting-wise this year. We're only hitting .228 as a team on the road. A high fly ball down the line and left, chased by Justice, and he makes the grab. That was another outstanding catch in foul ground. Justin Justice streaking to his right in foul ground, reached out, kind of looked like Sandy Amoros back in the 1955 World Series, if you've ever seen footage of that fantastic catch by the Brooklyn Dodger. Wasn't quite as great a catch as Sandy Amoros's catch to rob, who was it, Jill McDougal? I can't remember. 2 away here in the Colonel's 7th, and the batter is Mark Trumbo. Mark, 0 for 2 so far against Burke Badenhop. Boy, what an outstanding pitching performance he's given the Whitecaps as they lead it 1-0 with 2 out, nobody on here in the Colonel's 7th, and there's a strike at the knees to Mark Trumbo. Mark, a tall right-handed batter, takes strike 2 on the inside corner. Well, maybe the best thing that can happen to our ball club is to have Burke Badenhop reach his pitch limit, but he's been very efficient. The Whitecaps have double-barreled action down in their right field bullpen. Swing and a tipped foul. Mark Trumbo stays alive. And the pair of right-handers for West Michigan are Ricky Stike and Anthony Claggett. Anthony Claggett and Ricky Stike warming up for the Whitecaps. The 1-2 to Mark. Bouncing ball, deep short, backhanded by Hollimon. The long throw, not in time. It's an infield single for Mark Trumbo. Mark Trumbo has the second Kernel hit. He's aboard with 2 out as the tying run. Mark Trumbo bounced one to deep short. Mike Hollimon leapt up in the air from shallow left, made an accurate one-hop peg, but Mark Trumbo beat it out. Mark won't have too many infield singles in his career because that's not one of his best tools. He hustled, though. That is not a tool, but that's a requisite of a guy who plays this game with respect for the game, and that is to hustle, hustle, hustle. And Mark Trumbo legs out an infield single as he clubbed one to deep short. Here comes A.J. Seger, the pitching coach for the Whitecaps, making a visit to the mound. His first talk on the hill with right-hander Burke Badenhop. The Kernels have Dallas Morris at the plate with the tying run at first, 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning. We promised you our baseball fun fact. Now, wait a minute. Stantrell Smith is being summoned off the Kernel bench. Stantrell Smith will come in and run for Mark Trumbo. Smith will take over as the designated hitter. Stantrell Smith will pinch run for Mark Trumbo here as the tying run in the top of the 7th inning. 1-0 Whitecaps. Our baseball fun fact, the 1934 World Series between the Tigers and Cardinals was the last World Series in which both managers were also players. In other words, both the Tigers and Cardinals in 1934 had player managers. The Cardinals were managed by their second baseman, Frankie Frisch, who was known as the Fordham Flash, and the Tigers were managed by their catcher, Mickey Cochran. Cochran was also the 1934 AL MVP. So there's your baseball fun fact. Stantrell Smith is running. The pitch is strike. The throw to second. Not in time! Stantrell Smith, the pinch runner, has stolen second base. And the throw by Dusty Ryan was right on the corner of the bag to the second baseman, Will Rhymes, but Stantrell Smith steals second as a pinch runner, and now a base hit by Dallas Morris might tie this game. Just might tie this game here in the 7th inning. The 0-1 to Dallas, ground ball back to the mound. Burke Badenhop down to get it and throws out Dallas Morris. The Kernels had the tying run at second, and on an 0-1 pitch, Dallas Morris grounded on one hop back to the base of the mound. Burke Badenhop went down to get it and threw out Dallas Morris to end the Kernels' 7th. No runs in the 7th for the Kernels. One hit, an infield single by Trumbo. There were no Whitecap errors. The Kernels leave a runner and have stranded 4. And after 6.5, West Michigan maintains a narrow 1-0 lead over the Kernels.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the Home Team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Dan Hawkins worked a 1-2-3 inning in the 6th in relief of starter Stephen Merrick. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. West Michigan leads it 1-0. The only run in this game was plated in the 1st inning by the Whitecaps against the departed Kernels starter, all-star Stephen Merrick. Stephen walked Will Rhymes on 4 pitches. Rhymes stole second, went to third on a ground ball out by Pedro Cotto, and scored on a bouncing ball single over the head of Stephen Merrick into center. That's been the only run scored tonight. 1-0 Whitecaps. The batter is Dusty Ryan. He's 0 for 2. And a big curveball. Looked good from here, but ball 1 according to the plate umpire, who's getting some heat from the Colonel third base dugout. That was just a matter of time for Kellen Levy. The 1-0. Curve, high, ball 2. Our baseball fun fact, 1934 World Series, Tigers and Cardinals, both teams' managers were player managers. Frankie Frisch for the Redbirds and Mickey Cochran, a player manager for the Tigers. That's the last World Series that featured 2 player managers. Ball 3 low to Dusty Ryan. Now Daniel Hawkins brings it in high, ball 4. A leadoff walk, that usually kills you, and that's what's happened here as Dusty Ryan never took the bat off his shoulder and walks here in the 7th inning. That hurts. You'd almost rather have a guy hit a home run to make it 2-0 than to walk the leadoff man. But Dan Hawkins is the kind of guy that can get a double play or a pop-up or a strikeout. Don't ever underestimate Dan Hawkins' ability. He is a tall, hard-throwing right-hander. Mike Hollimon, who's 2 for 2, is at the plate, and ball 1 is low. These pitches aren't missing by much. That's the good thing. The discouraging thing is that strike zone is small. Dallas Morris playing off the line at third. His lefty Mike Pete starts to warm up for the Kernels. There's ball 2 high. Now out to the mound goes Flint Whipke. Flint Whipke delivers the ball back to the mound to try to help Dan Hawkins, who has thrown 4 or 6 straight out of the strike zone. Well, it's not too early to make your plans to come on out and see some of the best young amateur baseball in the country. The American Legion World Series will be at Veterans Memorial Stadium, August 18th through August 22nd. It's the 80th annual American Legion World Series. Big swing and a miss by the switch-hitting Mike Hollimon, who's 2 for 2. And it's 2-1. Hollimon steps out of the batter's box. Meet us at the stadium for the American Legion World Series, the first ever in our state. Isn't that an honor for our city and our marvelous Veterans Memorial Stadium? The first time in 80 years the American Legion World Series has been held in our state. Tickets range from $5 to $8 for the American Legion World Series, August 18th through the 22nd at Veterans Memorial Stadium. A high, deep drive to right. Renz going to his left. Jordan is there and has it. Mike Hollimon on a 2-1 pitch, skies to right. Jordan Renz had to dash over quickly to his left to catch it. 1 on, 1 out, and the batter is Mark Haskey, another left-handed batter for the Whitecaps, who lead it here in the bottom of the 7th, 1-0. Kernels won here last night, 7-0. Lefty Mike Pete is warming up down the left field line for the Kernels. The batter is Mark Haskey. The runner goes, a pitch in the dirt, and it's a stolen base for Dusty Ryan. That is the 4th stolen base of the night for the Whitecaps. Dusty Ryan, his 2nd stolen base of the year. He was running on the play. The pitch was in the dirt for ball 1 to Mark Haskey. Boy, that's tough when a catcher with 1 steal and 3 tries steals a base that easily. But don't blame Flint Whipke. The pitch from Daniel Hawkins was in the dirt. Whipke blocked it with his red chest protector to prevent the runner from going to third. Now ball 2 down and in from right-hander Daniel Hawkins. That ability to throw strikes, sometimes we overlook it, and it is a big, big part of the learning process here in the farm system. Ball 3 downstairs. Mike Pete may be coming on out of the Colonel bullpen, although a right-handed batter is on deck. 1-0 Whitecaps, bottom of the 7th inning. West Michigan has a runner at second, the 3-0. High, ball 4, and that may be it for Daniel Hawkins as he walks his second batter in this 7th inning. Here comes Kernan Ronan. Kernan will have a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Dan Hawkins. You owe it to yourself and the people who love you to find out what your risk of heart disease is with a $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. It's quick, easy, and convenient, and it could save your life. To schedule your $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy, call Mercy 398-6821, 398-6821. And Kernan Ronan gives Daniel Hawkins a pat on the back and says, "Go get him, big guy." Kernan concludes his Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Dan Hawkins. The Whitecaps trying to add to their lead. They haven't scored since the first inning. That's how good Stephen Merrick and Dan Hawkins have been. Jeremy Laster, 0-for-2 so far tonight. Takes low, ball 1, a fastball. Colonel infield at double play depth. That means the infielders are a couple of steps closer to the plate and a few steps towards second, then closer to second than they usually are. Jeremy Laster pops the 1-0 pitch foul. Up into the sweets to our right. Boy, I'm still struggling to call this ballpark Fifth Third Ballpark. It used to be called Old Kent Park. A breaking pitch is high to the right-handed batter, ball 2. Well, it's a matter of simple execution now. If Dan Hawkins can throw a strike or two, I think we can get out of this inning. If he can't, we may be sunk. Ball 3 in the dirt, and we may be sunk. 3-1 to Jeremy Laster. You walk the number 9 hitter, and then Mike Pete will come into the game, a left-handed batter, or left-handed hitter, to face left-handed leadoff man Will Rhymes. So trouble is brewing here in the bottom of the 7th for the Kernels. But Dan Hawkins could still get out of it, the 3-1. Ground ball foul outside third, and that runs the count full to the number 9 hitter, Jeremy Laster. The game's biggest pitch is about to come forth, first and second. 1 out. Bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 Whitecaps. Isn't it funny that every game has 1 or 2 most important pitches? This one is a chopper into deep short. Stacia gloves, no play. It's an infield single. Credit Dan Hawkins. He threw a strike. He made Jeremy Laster put the ball in play. Laster chopped it to deep short on 2 bounces. Stacia backhanded it, looked to second, looked to third, had no play at either base. And the Whitecaps now are on the threshold of putting this game away. They have the bases loaded with 1 out, and Mike Pete will likely come in for the Kernels. Yes, Mike Pete is going to come in. Dan Hawkins leaves. Dan went an inning and a third. So far, Hawkins is not allowed a run. He's given up 1 hit, walked 2, struck out 1. Dan Hawkins is lifted, and lefty Mike Pete will come on in relief for the Kernels, answering a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. Lefty Mike Pete pitched Tuesday at home in a Colonel 13-5 drubbing of Burlington. Mike went 1 inning, allowed 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 2, walked 3. So let's see if Mike Pete can help the Kernels stay in this game. trailing only by a run. But the Whitecaps have loaded the bases against Daniel Hawkins, who is lifted, and Mike Pete, a 5'11", 175-pound lefty, who was 2-1 in 20 games with the Pioneer League champion Orem Owls. Mike Pete takes over for the Kernels here under great duress. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1-0 Whitecaps. They have the bases loaded for Will Rhymes. Ooh, this is a tough situation for the Colonel lefty, Mike Pete. Well, this will give us a chance to give you finals from earlier this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Gary Schubat. The only game this afternoon in the American League was at U.S. Cellular Park, where the Red Sox derailed the White Sox 9-6. A doubleheader at Shea Stadium in the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Marlins and Mets split. Florida won the opener 3-2, and the Mets bounced back and clobbered the Marlins 17-3 in the nightcap. This afternoon at Minute Maid Park, the Redbirds, the Cardinals that is, trimmed the Astros in 10 innings, 7-6. And at Dodger Stadium, the Giants bombed the Dodgers 11-7. Everything else in progress on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And as time permits, we'll give you those scores. But right now, let's concentrate on the matter at hand. Will Rhymes facing Mike Pete with the bases loaded. Curve of beauty, strike one called from lefty Mike Pete. They're in the top of the 8th at Turner Field, and the Braves lead the Reds 3-1. Bottom of the 7th at Miller Park, Cubs 2, Milwaukee 1. The 0-1 misses inside, 1-1 to Will Rhymes, the left-handed batter. They're in the top of the 7th inning at Citizens Bank Ballpark. The Phillies lead the Pirates 6-2. Top of the 7th at RFK Stadium, the Padres up on the Nationals 5-1. No score, the Diamondbacks and Rockies, bottom of the 5th at Coors Field. The 1-1 to Will Rhymes. A high pop fly into shallow left. Back goes Stacia. Heinley has it for the second out of the 7th inning. Will Rhymes is retired by Mike Pete on a pop-up to shallow left. Drifting back onto the grass was Heinley Stacia. Heinley caught it, and there are 2 away here in the Whitecaps 7th inning. What a big out recorded by lefty Mike Pete as he got Will Rhymes for the second out here in the 7th. The bases remain loaded, and the batter is Pedro Cotto. He's 0 for 3. In the American League, the Orioles are stomping the Indians 7-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning at Jacobs Field. Top of the 6th inning at Kauffman Stadium, the Blue Jays and Royals are tied 5-5. Mike Pete has a word with his catcher, Flint Whipke, as the Whitecaps, leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the 7th, have the bases loaded with 2 out. Dusty Ryan at third, Mark Haskey at second, Jeremy Laster at first for West Michigan. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch from Mike Pete, strike one on the left-handed hitting Pedro Cotto. The Twins are ahead of the Rangers 3-0. That's in the bottom of the 5th at Ameriquest Field in Arlington. The Yankees in the top of the 7th lead Tampa Bay and St. Petersburg 3-0. A pitch in the dirt, blocked by Flint Whipke. It rolls out of the dirt batting circle, but not far enough beyond the dirt batting circle for the runner to score from third, Dusty Ryan. A pitch in the dirt from Mike Pete. It's 1-1 to Pedro Cotto. Our Angels, our parent club, are batting in the top of the 1st, no score in Oakland. And later tonight, the parent club of these Whitecaps, the Detroit Tigers, 30 games over 500, play the Mariners at Safeco Field. 1 ball, 1 strike to Pedro Cotto with the bases loaded, 2 away. Curve and a ground ball to first. Josh Davies has it, waves off Mike Pete and makes the play. How about Mike Pete? Mike Pete, the Colonel lefty, comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out, gets Will Rhymes to pop to shallow left where Stacia caught it, and then gets Pedro Cotto, a 3-11 left-handed hitting batter, to ground out to first. Mike Pete has kept the Kernels in this game. Pedro Cotto retired on a ground ball out to Josh Davies at first, and that ends the West Michigan 7th inning. Wow, the Kernels have the momentum back now in this game. The Whitecaps loaded the bases with one out and were unable to add to their 1-0 lead thanks to great relief from lefty Mike Pete. No runs in the 7th for the Whitecaps. 1 hit, 2 walks. There were no Kernel errors. The Whitecaps leave the bases loaded. They've stranded 7. The Kernels are right in this ball game as we go to the 8th inning. West Michigan leads 1-0.
Second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
1-0 West Michigan as the Kernels face relief pitcher Anthony Claggett. Claggett comes on relief with the starter Burke Badenhop. And the first pitch from Anthony low and away, ball 1 to Flint Whipke. We're in the top of the 8th inning and the Kernels trail 1-0. Have been out hit 6-2 but have kept themselves in the ball game. A slider on the outside corner, a strike. Anthony Claggett 4-1 on the year, on for the 31st time. You're not going to believe his ERA, 0.48. 0.48. Strike 2 called to Whipke. Anthony Claggett in 37 1/3 innings has given up 25 hits, struck out 38, walked 12. The 1-2 from the right-hander is whistled foul up into the first base stands. Flint Whipke, Madison Edwards, and Brad Kuhn here in the top of the 8th inning. 1-0 Whitecaps. The game just now turning 2 hours old. It started at 7:18, and it's 9:18 local time here in Grand Rapids. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Flint Whipke down on strikes. Flint owns one of the 2 Kernel hits as he dumped a 2-out single into center back in the 5th inning. Madison Edwards at the plate to face Anthony Claggett. Yes, Anthony Claggett's been utterly dominant. 4-1, 6 saves, and a 0.48 ERA. The league is hitting .198 against right-hander Anthony Claggett out of University of California, Riverside. Swing and a miss, strike 1 by by Madison Edwards. Kernels have a 5-game winning streak and are 10-6 in the second half. Batting here in the top of the 8th inning, trailing 1-0 before a capacity crowd here at Fifth Third Ballpark. Ball 1 inside, the left-handed hitting Madison Edwards. Ball 2 just missed outside from the 6'2" right-hander. Taken by Detroit in the 11th round last year, Anthony Claggett, University of California, Riverside. Ball 3 down and in. Madison Edwards is ahead 3-1. There are 2 lines of thought here. Be aggressive and swing at a 3-1 pitch because the pitcher will likely throw a strike, or make him throw a strike and take a 3-1 pitch. Edwards takes the former and pops a foul ball towards the Kernel dugout. There is a play, and it's caught. It's caught by Markowski. Madison Edwards fouls out to third. 2 away here in the Kernel 8th inning. 2 gone, and the batter Brad Kuhn. 1-0 West Michigan. They scored the game's only run in the first inning on a 4-pitch walk by starter Stephen Merrick, a stolen base, a ground ball out to first that sent Will Rhymes, the runner, from second to third, and a base hit over the mound by Matt Joyce. That has been it. 1-0. Brad Kuhn, 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and a steal. Lofts one into shallow left. Down the line, Justin Justice is there and makes the grab in shallow left to end the inning. Brad Kuhn fouls out down the left field line to end the Colonel 8th inning. Oh, the Colonels have played a great game tonight, but no offense and trail. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, it's the Whitecaps 1, the Colonels 0.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Summer is the best time to enjoy fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants, and there's no place better to go for your fresh, colorful flowers and blooming plants than Peck's Flower and Garden Shop. Peck's is your professional and award-winning FTD and Teleflora florist, and they invite you to stop in often this summer for the best fresh flowers and blooming plants in all of our community. Family-owned and serving eastern Iowa since 1956, Peck's is located at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast. Peck's Flower Shop, Garden Center, Nursery, and Landscaping. They're open until 8 in the evening on weeknights and until 5 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. That's Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. Mike Pete will try to keep this a 1-0 game in favor of the Whitecaps as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. This has been a humdinger. Whether the Colonels win this one or drop it is really irrelevant right now. It's been that good of a ball game, and the Colonels have played very, very well. Strike one is called to Matt Joyce. 2 for 3 tonight. Joyce drove in the game's only run with a bouncer over the head of Stephen Merrick away back in the first inning. Ball one low and in to the left-handed batter from Mike Pete. Now a breaking pitch inside. It's 2-1. Mike Pete is the main reason the Colonels are still in this game. He came in with the bases loaded and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th and prevented West Michigan from adding to their lead. Dribbling the 2-1 pitch foul toward the Colonel on deck circle is left-handed hitting Matt Joyce. It's the heart of the Whitecap order here in the bottom of the 8th inning before a jam-packed Fifth Third ballpark. Curve, and Mike Joyce pounds it foul off his back foot. All of the Whitecaps wear their socks up high. It's interesting to note that because when the Dayton Dragons were in our ballpark, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Cincinnati Reds, their entire squad wore their uniforms at uniform length, that is the socks, the old-fashioned way, with the pants just below the knee and the entire sock showing. Well, most of the sock, that is. And Uncle Charlie drifts inside, and it's a full count now to Matt Joyce. Mike Pete twirls and delivers a shot past first, foul into the right field corner. That's been the hardest hit ball tonight. Foul down into the right field corner. And it's a philosophical edict or dictate from the big league clubs when they want their minor league professionals to wear their socks the same way. Mike Pete misses in the dirt low, and the left-handed batter, Matt Joyce, is aboard on a leadoff walk. Well, those doggone walks have hurt us tonight. That is the 5th walk issued by Colonel pitching. 1-0 Whitecaps. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, they have their leadoff man at first with nobody out, or their first batter here in the 8th inning. Matt Joyce, 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Mike Hernandez dribbles the first pitch foul into the Colonel third base dugout. The Colonel equipment manager almost takes a tumble, stumbling out of the dugout. He retrieves it, and he gives it to a little girl in the front row. Boy, that would have been something if the Colonel equipment manager, who's in uniform, would have stumbled. He waves up here, knowing that I saw him almost fall nosedive into the ground. Mike Hernandez now fouls one into the first base seats, and he's in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. One nothing West Michigan, 1 on, nobody out. Mike Pete throws to first, lobs it. Not sure the thinking behind that, but a lob throw almost over the head of Josh Davies. Josh reached up high and prevented a wild throw. The 0-2 pitch from the Colonel southpaw. Ground ball to short, could be 2. Stacia fields it, throws to Infante out. Larry to first for the double play! The Colonels turn their second double play of the night. A slow roller off the bat of Mike Hernandez to Heinley Stacia. Heinley scooped it up, whipped the throw to Infante to force Matt Joyce, and then Larry pegged to first for the 6-4-3 double play. 6-4-3, the double play. 2 away here in the 8th inning. The batter for the Whitecaps, Justin Justice. 1-0 West Michigan. And a change-up outside, ball 1. Burke Badenhop is the pitcher of record for the Whitecaps. If they're able to hold on, he'll go to 8-2. Stephen Merrick, the pitcher of record for the Kernels. If the Kernels don't rally, Stephen's record will stand at 9-2. But we have to get the final out here in the 8th inning and then tie it or take the lead in the 9th inning, so neither of those scenarios come true. A 1-1 delivery, a curve low to Justin Justice. 1 for 2 tonight with a walk and a stolen base. Here's the 2-1 from Mike Pete. A high fly ball into left center. Brad Kuhn racing back. Brad's there and has it. Brad Kuhn tracks it down in left center to end the Whitecap 8th inning. No runs for West Michigan. A leadoff walk. No hits. There were no Colonel errors. And West Michigan leaves nobody on. Well, here we go. Here we go to the top of the 9th inning. We're going to keep it right here and tell you that the Colonels have the right guys due up. The numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters to face right-hander Anthony Claggett. 1-0 Whitecaps. We're back at home from this 4-game junket to Grand Rapids on Wednesday night. We'll be back home Wednesday night, and we start a 7-game homestand. Wednesday night, we host the Clinton Lumber Kings, the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Texas Rangers, and it's a Fairfax State Savings Bank Money Wednesday, this Wednesday, July 12th. That means the first 750 of you Colonel fans, regardless of age or gender, to come to the ballpark on Wednesday night will receive an envelope from Fairfax State Savings Bank, and inside that envelope will be cash ranging from $1 to $100. That's our first game of the 7-game homestand Wednesday night. Thursday night, a 7 o'clock start with the gates opening at 6 against Clinton. It's a Buck a Cup Thursday. You can enjoy a 12-ounce draft beer, 12-ounce soda, or a slushie for only $1. Bottled soda and bottled water are only $2. Company, and those jerseys will be auctioned off during the game. There'll be a 21-gun salute and a flyover before the game by a Chinook helicopter. It'll also be here's a ground ball to deep short by Davies. Down to get it, Hollimon. The throw is in time. First pitch swinging, Josh Davies' bid for a leadoff single turned aside on a fine play deep in the hole at short by Mike Hollimon. Hollimon had to skid down on one knee, backhand that first pitch ground ball off the bat of Davies, and he threw out Josh. 1 away here in the Colonel 9th inning. Anthony Claggett gunning for his 7th save, trying to save it for the starter Badenhop. 1-0 Whitecaps. Top of the ninth inning, and the batter is Heinle Stacia, has a 9-game hitting streak on the line. Heinle takes a fastball for a strike. Friday, July 14th is Pat McGrath Chevyland used car night. 3 used cars will be given away. Ball 1 just low from flame-throwing right-hander Anthony Claggett. Kernels down 1-0 here in the top of the ninth inning. Have been out hit 6-2. Neither team has made an error. The 1-1 to Heinle. High and outside, ball 2 to Stacia. Now ball 3 is low to Heinle. 3-1 to Heinle Stacia. You get Stacia on, and who knows what could happen. Will Heinle be swinging? No, and he takes strike 2. It's a full count. Full count to the .304 hitting Colonel, switch hitting all-star shortstop. Walked in the first inning, has grounded out twice since, has hit safely in his last 9 games. Ball 4, down and in. A 1-out walk drawn by Heinle Stacia here in the top of the ninth inning. That walk is the 4th drawn by Colonel batters tonight. And the Kernels have the tying run at first with only 1 out here in the ninth inning. Jordan Wren stands in. Jordan lined out to shallow left his last time up. He's 0 for 2 with the walk, and Renz lifts the first pitch foul off the end of his black lacquer bat into the first base grandstand. No grandstand roof here at Fifth Third Ballpark, where we're playing in the top of the ninth inning. Whitecaps ahead 1-0. Stacia draws a throw, and Heinle darts back in hand first. Anthony Claggett worked a 1-2-3 eighth inning, and he retired Josh Davies on a ground ball to deep short to start the ninth. Walked Heinle Stacia on a 3-2 pitch, and a check swing by Jordan Renz, and Jordan tips it foul at his feet for strike 2. Anthony Claggett ahead of Jordan, 0-2. The pitch. A tap back to shallow second, past the mound. Second baseman comes in calmly, bare hands, throws out Jordan, but the tying runs at second with 2 out. Jordan Renz rolls out to second on a check swing. Jordan didn't get a very good at-bat in terms of seeing the pitches, but he did put the ball in play. His roller snuck by Anthony Claggett to shallow second, and Will Rhymes charged it throughout the batter. I think Larry Infante is going to tie this game. I really do. We're in the top of the ninth, tying run at second. 2 out, 1-0 Whitecaps. Larry hits very well in the clutch. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He shoots the first pitch foul on a low fastball. He rifled it into the concourse area underneath the second tier here, the press box suite level. Tying run at second, Heinle Stacia. 2 out, top of the ninth inning. 1-0 Whitecaps. Left-handed hitting Larry Infante takes up a high ball 1 on a changeup from Anthony Claggett. Tying run Stacia at second here in the ninth inning. Kernels trail 1-0. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Larry. Sliced foul off the end of the bat into the left field stands, and it's now a 1-2 count as this sellout crowd comes alive. The Whitecaps trying to even this series at a game apiece. Lead at 1-0. Anthony Claggett has his sign. Now steps off the rubber. Stacia at second. 2 out. The 1-2 pitch to Infante. Ooh, it almost hit him. The pitch was up and in. Did it hit Larry Infante? It hit his bat. No, says DeAndre Anderson, the base umpire. Larry's going to first base. He's going to show the plate umpire the mark on his arm, and immediately Matt Walbeck comes out, and here comes Bobby Magallanes. Larry showing the plate umpire where the pitch hit him. Larry Infante showing the plate umpire a welt on his forearm. DeAndre Anderson, the base umpire, said the pitch did not hit Larry Infante. Bobby Magallanes into the dirt batting circle, and Larry Infante will show all of his teammates the swelling bulge on his left arm. Larry's going to show the plate umpire one more time. Larry Infante showing the plate umpire one more time that he was hit by that pitch. And that's the kind of case you would win in court. Physical evidence usually wins in court, but it does not win with this umpiring crew. Larry was hit by the pitch, showing the plate umpire 3 times now the bump on his forearm. He's still in the hole 1-2. The ball hit Larry's arm and also his back. Tying run at second. Heinle Stacia, the pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. Larry Infante still barking at the plate umpire, pointing at the plate umpire. Larry Infante unhappy. The Kernels lose this one in a heartbreaking fashion, but you credit the Whitecaps. They have the best pitching staff in the league, and West Michigan showed that this evening as they win it 1-0. Larry Infante strikes out on a pitch in the dirt, and that ends the ball game. In the 9th inning, no runs for the Kernels, no hits, a walk. There were no Whitecap errors, and the Kernels leave a runner aboard, stranded 5 in dropping a 1-0 contest here tonight to West Michigan. We'll be back with the totals, highlights, and more next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
West Michigan evens this series at a game apiece and halts a 5-game Colonel winning streak as the Whitecaps hit the Kernels and win 1-0. You never know which run is going to be the run that decides the game, and tonight it was a run scored by the Whitecaps in the first inning against Colonel 9-game winner Stephen Merrick. Stephen struggled in his 18th start of the year, but pitched his heart out and gave the game's only run-up in the first inning. Will Rhymes threw a walk without taking the bat off his shoulder, stole second, and then went to third on a ground ball out by Pedro Cotto, scored the game's only run on a bouncing ball base hit up the middle over Stevens' head into center by Matt Joyce. It was 1-0 Whitecaps. Meanwhile, Burke Badenhop was brilliant for West Michigan. He walked Heinle Stacia with 2 out in the top of the first inning, but The Kernels made nothing of that, and then Badenhop surrendered a 2-out walk to Brad Kuhn in the third inning. Brad stole his league-high 88th base of the year, but Josh Davies bounced out to third to end that Kernel third inning. Jordan Renz drew a 1-out walk in the fourth inning with the score 1-0 Whitecaps, but he was erased on a Larry Infante double play. The first Kernel hit of the game didn't come until the top of the fifth inning. Flint Whipke hit a Texas League looper in front of the center fielder Jeremy Laster, but the next batter struck out. The only other Kernel hit off the starter, Burke Badenhop, came in the seventh inning. Mark Trumbo reached on a ground ball or a bouncing ball base hit to deep short. Stantrell Smith came on to run for Mark Trumbo. Stantrell stole second. He was in scoring position with 2 out, but Burke Badenhop got Dallas Morris on a comebacker to end that Kernel scoring chance. The highlight for the Kernels in the 1-0 game, there were 2 of them. Justin Justice singled leading off the fourth inning, and with 1 out, Mike Hollimon ripped a double into the right field corner. Jordan Renz cut it off, and Justin Justice tried to score all the way from first. He was thrown out by Jordan Renz for the second out of that fourth inning, and that play by Renz will be highlighted in just a little bit as our PRC play of the game. The other big moment, another big bright spot in this game, was the pitching of lefty Mike Peet. Mike came in under duress. The bases were loaded with 1 out in the Whitecaps seventh inning. West Michigan had a great chance to add to their 1-0 lead, but Mike Peet got Will Rhymes to pop to short, and he got Pedro Cotto to ground out to first. Mike Peet was sensational in relief for the Kernels here tonight. West Michigan evens the series at a game apiece with a 1-0 win. They score 1 run on 6 hits, no errors. The Whitecaps left 7. The Kernels, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. We left 5. Winning pitcher Burke Badenhop, he's 8-2. He's 2-0 against the Kernels this year. The Kernel loser Stephen Merrick is now 9-2. A save goes to Anthony Claggett, Claggett, his 7th of the year. The game only took 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we're awaiting an official attendance, but we know it was well over 9,000. 1-0 Whitecaps. We'll be back with the PRC play of the game next here on the Kernel Curtain Call.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan Smith? You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, our pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
We're high above the home plate area at Fifth Third Ballpark, where tonight the West Michigan Whitecaps even their series with the Kernels at a game apiece. The Kernels shelled West Michigan, out hitting them 12-4 last night, 7-0 to streak to our 5th win in a row. But tonight the Kernels were 2 hit by a pair of Whitecap right-handers and drop a gut-wrenching 1-0 game. Not gut-wrenching in the sense that you always feel bad when a winning streak ends, and you figure, hey, if you can get Stephen Merrick a run or 2, you'll win. And had the Kernels been able to get 2 runs tonight, possibly they would have won. And it was the Whitecap pitching that put the clamps down on the Kernel offense, allowing only 2 hits, and West Michigan had only 6 hits. They win 1-0. PRC has been our season-long sponsor of the play of the game, and tonight our PRC play of the game takes us to the 4th inning. The Whitecaps led at 1-0. They had Justin Justice at first with 1 out, Mike Hollimon at the plate. Let's pick up the action right there with our PRC play of the game.
For a 3rd time, the runner goes, and a base hit past Josh Davies into the right field corner. Rounding second, heading to third, Justin Justice. They wave him home. The throw home by Renz. Runner is out at the plate on a 1-hop strike from deep right field by Jordan Renz.
That's our PRC play of the game. It was a tremendous throw by Renz, and it could have turned the game around had the Colonel bats not been quelled into frozen submission by the Whitecaps tonight. The Kernels had 2 hits, and the Whitecaps won it 1-0. That's our PRC play of the game. We'll get our attendance now. I entered an attendance pool. My guess was over 10,000. 9,188 here tonight. 9,188. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. The benefits are exemplary, so much so that they're called Life Essentials. And the Life Essential benefit package at PRC includes a flexible work schedule, casual dress code, 401k retirement savings plan, and medical, dental, vision, health insurance, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, all part of the Life Essentials benefit package at PRC. You can learn more about the fabulous career opportunities at PRC by logging on to their website, www.prcnet.com. The Whitecaps even the series at a game apiece with a 1-0 win here tonight. I'll return in just a moment with a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
1-0 Whitecaps, and we're into the third segment of our Colonel Curtain call as West Michigan 2 hits the Kernels and wins it 1-0. The Colonel record 10-7 now in the second half, still playing very well. We knew we'd be stiffly challenged in this series, and I still think we have a great chance to win the series or at least split it even after 2 at a game apiece. Now we turn our attention to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn, because they sponsor our look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. We're going to begin in the National League, where there were 4 games this afternoon. A doubleheader in Gotham at Shea Stadium, and the Marlins and Mets split that twin bill. Florida edged the Mets in the first game, 3-2. The Mets came back and dismantled the Marlins 17-3 in the second game of that doubleheader at Shea Stadium. The Cardinals scored a run in the 10th inning, and the Redbirds clipped Houston at Minute Maid Park today, 7-6. At Chavez Ravine, the Giants crushed the Dodgers 11-7 today. Now, tonight on the State Farm Major League scoreboard in the National League at Turner Field, the Braves scalped the Reds 4-1. They're in the top of the 9th inning at Miller Park, and the Cubs are ahead of the Brewers 3-1. Bottom of the 8th inning at Citizens Bank Ballpark in Philadelphia, the Phillies are ahead of the Pirates 6-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning. At RFK Stadium, San Diego is ahead of the Nationals in the top of the 9th. The Padres lead Washington 5-2. And at Coors Field in Denver, an unusually low-scoring affair, it's the Rockies 1, the Diamondbacks nothing in the top of the 8th inning at Coors Field. Now, the American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Battle of the Sox unfolded today at U.S. Cellular Field, and it was the Red Sox turning back the White Sox 9-6. No other finals from tonight, but let's give you the games in progress in the American League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. In the top of the 8th inning at Jacobs Field, the Orioles are thumping the Indians 7-1. It's the Blue Jays leading the Royals in the top of the 7th inning, 6-5 at Kauffman Stadium. The Yankees are shelling the Devil Rays 5-0 in the top of the 8th in St. Petersburg at Tropicana Field. Top of the 7th inning at Ameriquest Field in Arlington, Texas, Minnesota leads the Rangers 3-0. Our parent club, the Angels, trying to take the lead in a big series in Oakland. In the top of the 3rd inning, the Angels lead the A's 2-0. That's good news from the Coliseum. And a game most of this state of Michigan will be watching or listening to, just about to get underway at Safeco Field in the Emerald City of Seattle. The story of the year in the big leagues, Jimmy Leland's Detroit Tigers, 30 games over 500, are playing the Mariners. That game should start momentarily in Seattle. Well, that's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard here from Fifth Third Ballpark in Grand Rapids, where the Kernels dropped a 1-0 decision to the Whitecaps. 1-0, West Michigan. The Kernels were held to just 2 hits. And the series is now even at a game apiece after the Colonel big 7-0 win last night. We'll have Game 3 here from Grand Rapids, the former furniture-making empire of the United States. We'll have it for you at 12:40 tomorrow afternoon, right here in the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600. We'll have the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show for you at 12:40 tomorrow afternoon. Look forward to bringing it to you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. The final again from Grand Rapids, the Whitecaps blank the Kernels 1-0. This has been Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming already in progress.